Welcome, everybody, to the Bullies of the Bad Dragon of Bluefield, episode 41. Yay!
Episode 41!
So, before we get started, this is the last episode
for a bit
of the Bullies of the Bad Dragon of Bluefield.
For a while.
And we will be returning...
let's just not put a date on it, and we'll
sometime probably in November
the
or early
19th
December.
is what I'm going to shoot for.
Okay.
Because that'll be 2 weeks off in the rotation.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's not Thanksgiving yet, so...
But yeah, we're doing that because some crazy kids are getting married and whatnot. So, we will be probably suspending all DnD streams at least. I don't know if Nikki at Night or John stuffs are planning since it's not as involved, but
Nikki at Night.
Probably not until I get back from honeymoon.
But we'll keep everybody up to date on what it is we're doing for those.
I will up until like the wedding, which means I'll have like 2 more weeks probably of Nikki at Night, and then break time.
But yeah, as you can see, we do not have Jonathan here today. Loser has to work or something like that. So because of
he's
that,
at the rodeo.
Because of that, from now until we come back, use the code LEOWARD at whiterabbitgamingshop.com to save 10% on your order. I thought it was funny that we did it that way.
Mm-hmm.
As always, this stream is a big... we all are, but this stream is a big proponent for Extra Life, where we play games and heal kids.
We are missing 2 people.
Yeah,
but
Chris.
He's been gone for
Chris
a while.
has been gone for a couple months. When we come back after the wedding stuff, we should be back to our entire party again.
Yeah.
Chris is
he's been in Guam.
in Guam on semi-deployment, whatever they call it for Air Force.
Sounds like a vacation.
That's what he calls it.
That's
exactly what he calls it.
Yeah. Occupation
tax
vacation.
dollars should work, buddy.
Right. As always, we want to thank our sponsor, Andreas at Fantastical Filaments. He's done a couple of really cool things for Harrison for our game.
He's got a few in the works, too.
That
Check him out on Etsy.
hopefully they don't come and kill us soon. But as I said, everything that we do is for Extra Life on this stream, basically. I know we promote Extra Life on our other streams that we do, but this stream specifically is for Extra Life. It started off as us just having fun, but it has kind of evolved into our Extra Life stream. Mm-hmm. And as part of that, from now until Games Day, which is November 6th, we are doing a giveaway. For every $1 you donate to Extra Life, we'll throw you into a raffle for some goodies. Yeah, and I got them right here. We have...
To him.
Sorry.
We have a couple of dice towers that I've printed off. The Bronze Dwarven Brewery, the Purple Dragonborn Tower. We have a Legend of Vox Machina beanie, because, they just announced when the show was going to be available today. Nikki has also donated this sexy anime girl. So you want a sexy anime girl?
From a erotic... comic,
Listen.
I believe.
And
who
then
doesn't want that?
From Forged Dice, I did get a set of dice that we are also giving away. It is a metal set. They're kind of pointy, so don't step on them. I know there probably will be some other prizes. How much is the Funko Tiamat was only $25. I pre-ordered it today. We're good. It's on pre-order. It comes out, I don't know when, but I ordered it. Oh no, I think you take... Well, the
D4s
they're
are
all
20.
spiky, so even on the D20, you take D20 damage.
There's just no joke to accidentally swallow when we're going to the hospital.
Why would you swallow?
I don't know they're
What is
children
this?
who get a hold of your dice.
I thought you were worried about swallowing one.
Oh,
Like,
Well, Brandon from the other game used to jokingly put the D4 up to like he was going to, and I was like, don't do that. It's
Whatever.
spoiledy.
Does anybody else have any news?
He was the one that tried to get with a horse as a horse.
Bo Jackman?
Sure.
Druids.
I don't think so. I think that's...
Did I cover everything?
Yeah. Just
Cool.
the brief pause on things for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the 19th. That will be exactly one streaming month.
Yeah.
That'll
Sounds
give us
good
a
to me.
week after we come home from the honeymoon, and then another week.
Perfect.
We may do a special alternative games day, session 2, since we won't be here for that either. I know John was thinking of doing something like by himself, but he don't have to do that.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Which day's games day again?
November 6th.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, sounds good. No sleep. Video games.
Even if that's what he's planning on doing, I'm never doing one of those again.
It's too hard.
I'm too old for it.
I'll just
Sorry,
figure
youngin.
it out.
Made it
I mean,
till,
I can't do it. I mean,
made it till 2, I think, last year.
Well, I gotta have more active games. At some point.
I can't watch John play Bayonetta
Yeah,
for
that was-
2 hours again. That made me want to drive a pencil into my eye. Sorry, John.
But yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to tell John to play the music because he's not here, so...
Da 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 da.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh.
So yeah, enjoy this episode of the Bullies of the Bed Dragon and Bluefield.
Going!
So, last we left off, the bullies of the Bed Dragon of Bluefield found themselves being confronted by an anus hag.
I thought you said anus.
That's
for
what
a
I thought
second.
you said
He
too.
did say
Because
anus.
You were waiting.
You did say anus?
Mm-hmm.
He's making sure you're paying attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's an anus hag.
After what she did to us, yeah.
Yeah. Several restless spirits taking the form of banshees and a reaper banshee. All coming for you. And the residents of the West Crip Harborage. In the process
That was my cane shaking.
in the process of fighting off the danger at hand, 2 of our members fell, Nivara and Pandora. Both brought back. You guys defeated the trouble at hand,
But at what cost?
and I think you guys. What did you do after that?
We went back to
That's
the Hag's Hollow.
Oh, yeah.
Dispelled whatever was tying Jiraiya to the material plane. His eye, eye and the heart that was there did show up after we did that. Oscar then neatly put them into a specimen jar, wrapped it up to deliver it back to his mother's. Nivara was pretty shaken, so she didn't actually go into the Hag's Hollow.
Leeward
was
found,
pissed off.
He was pissed off, but he found a jar with a gelatinous
I
cube
was getting
inside.
that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
That was after he broke a healing potion.
Mm-hmm.
Which, God.
Consequences of your actions.
Mhm.
It is what it is.
You guys then, I believe, destroyed the Hag's Hut with a fireball. Ghostak helped Nivara cast it. How did it feel to cast a spell?
Weird.
Weird.
I mean, technically I do, because I can do Pass Without a Trace and
true.
Long Strider.
But
but-
I see that more as like a thing
It's
that
innate.
you can do that just utilizes a spell slot, you know?
Well, and for her, it doesn't actually utilize a spell
Yeah.
slot.
Like, I imagine like a ranger using Pass Without a Trace, he like use parts of the environment to do camouflage
Yeah.
and, you know, all depends on who casts it. Anyway, you guys then went back to the West Grip Harborage, assisted in the burial,
Said a few words.
yeah. And in the morning, you made your way off south to the Maroon Marsh.
Revolution.
You came across a large statue of a skull with a serpent.
Well, wait, before that, on the way there,
What?
Leeward,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't forget that part. That's important.
He
He outshouted
proclaimed
sorry.
his love.
he admitted some feelings.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he proclaimed his love. He just admitted he.
He
I
admitted the
mean-
feelings. I wouldn't say proclaimed
He
love
hit
either.
on my wife.
My wife.
And we all just watched, and then got mad about it.
And Nivara.
And even though they were further behind, we basically heard what the
everybody's
conversation was.
eavesdropping, yes.
Elf ears. What can you do?
Oscar did talk to his elf friends because they were pretty shaken up. One to not be as hard on herself because of the circumstances of what she has done. The other one just trying to warm her up to the rest of the group, knowing that she wasn't feeling the best after dying, and seeing
That was clearly. Oh, I'm just kidding.
a former love.
Yeah.
Got caught blocked there too.
So yeah, Oscar did some therapy work.
Oscar is the nicest, darkest character in the group.
Yes. Well, we'll just go with that. I don't have any ulterior motives at all.
I think that was it.
Hey.
So you then found yourself in front of a skull statue with a serpent going in and out. It wasn't moving.
Snake.
And then you were greeted by a Yanti gentleman who
Over
said
there.
that you were trespassing upon sacred ground
Yes.
and took you to his leader. Take me to your leader. You then went through a hollowed out tree, down a short set of stairs into a cramped underground lair filled with other snake people. You were then led to a throne room where the snake-like lady that greeted you, sitting upon a throne, had human legs. She last said, "Were you sent here by Zahir as prophets?" And that's what happened last time. You guys standing in the cold,
Well,
dark throne room.
It was a little more than that because it was to go against Lazar.
Mm-hmm. Pull it up. D&D Beyond, everybody.
We keep saying their name enough, maybe they'll start sponsoring us.
Maybe it'll send
She
us
said
some
that-
faster tabs.
You mean like the Raycon
Did
earbuds?
Zahir bring you to end the corruption of the Lassiers?
Which, in Oscar's mind, he hears Laziers and thinks Lazarus.
I mean, that checks out to me.
Hey, we're just here to get order back, but not tyranny.
We have a common enemy then.
Would
As it appear.
the Laziers be the current ruler of the Maroon Marsh, Lazarus?
I will answer your question. If you can answer a question for me.
Okay.
What brings you to the marsh? What business do you have with Lazarus?
You don't like him, right?
She's not answering that yet.
No.
Okay, well, then you will be glad to know that we would like to kick his ass, frankly.
He sent one of his agents and he poisoned our friend's mother figure.
Triggered.
And so We've heard he hasn't been doing great things here. And so we're here to put a stop to him.
Lazaris does not plan assassinations unless it is somebody of great interest to him. Why would he attempt to assassinate your mother, Victor?
She's the ambassador for Roseville. I mean, but I can't think of
She's
it.
on the council.
And on the council at Spectrum City. Spectral. Sorry.
You would remember that Seraphine was good friends with Aralai,
Aralai. That
who
was her
was
name. I
the
said her name.
former leader of the Maroon Marsh who disappeared years ago.
Ah, okay. That part I didn't remember. And I'm also here looking for Aralai.
Aralai. She has been missing for many moons.
Well, we're also here to find her.
Her presence would be most welcome in the marsh.
I hope she's still here somewhere.
Not likely.
I'm determined to try.
People have not seen her for years.
I feel like Lazarus might know where she is.
How does such a small group of adventurers plan to take out the mighty, the all-ruling, self-proclaimed ruler of the marsh?
I mean, I figured we'd do it.
Lazaris.
I figured we'd do it the same way we took out an Elder Brain, some Mind Flayers, a couple dragons, a couple giants,
Hags.
some hags.
Banshees.
We kind of just kick a lot of ass.
Dragons.
He said dragons.
More dragons.
Rocks.
Yeah, we did take out a rock.
I have to do this. 'Cause
Demons.
He would. Perhaps you've heard of me. I'm Leeward Alaros Torin, the famed singer of Bluefield. I have not heard of you. Would you like to hear a song? No. Not at this time. Oh, okay. That's what I imagined John would do. Tell me in the comments below, John, as you're watching.
That's okay.
Is that what you would have done?
Yeah. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it.
So, what is your plan of action?
I don't really do the planning. I do the punching. I'll be honest with you, ma'am.
Well,
I figured we were just gonna find him and then.
we had to get to the marsh first just to see, like, if what was around him. Stake him out a little bit.
It seems we each have interests that would benefit each other. We at the Cult of Zahir would like Lazarus' presence gone from the marsh, so we can continue our business. And you, what do you call yourselves? Leeward and his friends?
No.
Nope,
No.
definitely not that.
No.
We are the bullies of the Bed Dragon of Bluefield.
Do you, Bed Dragon Bullies of Bluefield,
We're the BBB.
the BBB,
I'm the BBED. I'm kidding.
you would also like to defeat Lazarus? We can give you information if we agree upon the terms.
What are your terms?
I give you information about the marsh. Lazarus. His infrastructure in the marsh. Anything we know about his generals in his army. And anything useful. In return, since you were already going, you conduct a stealth operation, weakening Lazarus's army until he is weak enough for my men to invade.
Ghost Stack, I don't know if you're too good at stealth stuff.
We can kind of help with that. So when you
That's a good point.
when you invade, are you just trying to get his folks? I mean, we don't really want civilians to be unnecessary.
Civilians are necessary for our business. Before Lazarus' rule, Erelai and the cult of Zahir had an agreement due to the nature of living in a swamp. Poison fills the water. We are able to provide an antigen for the poison. Since Erelai has left, we have not been allowed to provide the antigen for the people.
Ooh. Oof.
The antigen is very important to keep the cycle of the poison alive and to keep the great Zahir pleased.
Well, it seems like we're on the same path. So
Lazarus. He has surrounded himself with powerful allies. He has surrounded himself with one known as Boric, the leader of the wolves.
He says the name Boric. You guys recall that? You once heard of a name of somebody named Boric who associated themselves with the wolves? Marty's kid brother.
So the wolves are bad guys.
That's what it sounds like.
The wolves. That's $1.
That was stuck on my arm. What the shit?
Yeah, it came all the way to you.
Like, I lifted my arm up and it.
He did it in the voice too. At least he didn't do it in that creepy voice that made me laugh for half an hour.
That wasn't creepy. That was
It's
just
funny.
Lazarus.
I had $1 on
That's
me.
below $1. Need to grab that out of my wallet.
Lazarus made a deal with a group of lizard folk known as the Lessirs. And as the wolves went down to the marsh to attempt to free them from oppression, they were either killed or they forfeited and joined the cause. The Lessirs hold an iron grip on the marsh, controlled by Lazarus. No one comes in or out of the city without the without express written permission of Major League Baseball. Without Lazarus' permission. Starvation and sickness run rampant to any inhabitant not lucky enough to be a lessir. If anyone is known to spoke out against Lazarus, they were beaten, hung, and body put on display.
Well, I can see why we need to be sneaky about it.
Yeah.
So, who? I mean, they aligned with Lazarus. Who's the leader of the Lazirs then?
Boric is now second in command to Lazarus. Volsha, the former leader of the Lazirs, demoted by Lazarus, still thrives in his ranks as a top-ranked soldier.
Anybody named Marty?
I do not know of a Marty. Hold on, I'm gonna look. Sorry.
This is a bad time, but maybe the end is not good. Well, maybe not. But he's, you know.
No, that was on my mind.
Bad time to bring it up. We're in the middle of a press conference, but. Or a
Has
briefing.
never stopped Narvire before.
Lazarus has also brought in a head of council from the cult of Bathsheba.
Oh.
We don't like those guys.
No.
Yeah, you guys recognize Bathsheba, goddess of misfortune, was a part of the Midsundering, or the Discord of Death. And is Timora's twin sister. But yeah, that name definitely. I thought I heard a cat meowing. That name definitely
Yeah, that's probably
stands
the little
out
laugh in that song.
with the history that you guys have been told about Merkel and Bane. Her name is Zymera Mistra. God, that makes me think there's a cat every time. Lazarus is surrounded by guard at all time. His personal bodyguard is Radera Vargoba. She is a woman of the cloth of Bathsheba. And the last of his generals is Basidius Dre, in control of shipments coming by road or by sea from the marsh. If you take him out, Lazarus' supplies will be crippled. With each of these generals gone, it becomes easier to infiltrate the marsh. But it does seem Lazarus is not a fool, and he will know if his generals are being taken out strategically. We will help free the denizens of the marsh, but not until it is safe for my men to go.
do we need to do to make it safe? Like, who do we need to...
That is for you to decide and figure out. With oppression of people comes rebel groups ready to rise up. Search for them. I'm sure they exist, although they will be hushed. As Endicott going against Lazarus will be hung and displayed.
Can I roll an insight to see maybe if she knows where some are?
Sure.
13.
She seems like she's telling you the truth. She has a mutual interest with you guys. She just doesn't want her men to go in there and do the dirty work, is what it kind of seems like.
Of his generals, which would you say is the one that poses the most threat?
They are all uniquely
What's the word I'm looking for here?
dangerous. Go for Boric and the Laciers and remaining wolves will rise up. Go for Volsha and those who still remain loyal to him may leave Lazarus. Zemera holds a lot of weight in the religious aspect of Lazarus's reign. Redera, highly trained with a sword. She would be very difficult to take out if surrounded by her army. The city is Dre. Without him, supply lines would be crippled. But he is prepared.
Who would you suggest?
That is up for you to decide.
It's worth
She
a
said
shot.
that like
I
3
know,
times.
I know, but
As they say,
she-
life is shit wall to wall.
I don't know who says that, but
Was it?
I just you seem like a very knowledgeable leader, so maybe
Oh, I guess we should
I
power
am
on.
as
wanted some
knowledgeable
insight.
as the great Zahir allows me to be.
Okay.
Cool.
Have you made any contact with the rebel groups at all?
No. My scouts do not go into the city. Observe it from afar.
Have any attempted to contact you?
No.
Worth a shot.
It is very difficult for word to get in or out of the marsh. Only what Lazarus would like to come in.
Ghost Jack,
Yeah.
do you want to inquire about
About what?
your wife? Because maybe she's in the circle and they know about it. You know what I mean? Maybe that would be an in. I don't know.
Can you ask him?
What's her name?
You don't remember my wife's name?
I don't. Nikki doesn't. Nivara would. Nivara would remember.
Renee.
Renee,
is his
that's
wife's
it.
name, and
Renee.
Fiona was his daughter.
It's
I was gonna say Abby. I was way off.
How about anybody named Renee in that inner circle? Any Renees?
No. But before Lazarus broke off from Xanthos. Her name was mentioned amongst high-ranking members of Xanthos' army. From what we know, Lazarus had a change in faith from Xanthos. Began preaching the good word of Bathsheba.
Well,
And Xanthos did not take kindly. Bathsheba and Miracle, the god of death, have a strained relationship. Since the discordant of death, they have not gotten along. But would be in each other's interest to work together to cause the second sundering.
well, I don't want to be, part of God activities if I have anything to do with it.
You carry yourself with strange friends then.
I
see
I've heard that before, yeah.
a disciple of Eldath and a man of hell.
No, I mean, I just, I don't want to start a sundering if I can
That
help
would
it.
be wise.
That
If
sounds
we don't
a
do
bit,
something, there might be.
I'm already sort of,
As it is written, it will be.
involved in things maybe anyway. Well, can we have some time to converse?
Have a little
Yes.
powwow.
I tend to be impulsive, and if it were up to me, I'd just
Do
say,
you require harborage for the evening?
It's probably about noon right now.
I'm fine. I mean, I don't want to walk through the poisonous water if I, that you seem to know the safe route, so if there's
We
something...
will not go with you. I
No,
can send a scout to the edge with you.
No, that's fine. I just meant,
We'll take what we can get.
Yes.
These antigens that you have for the poison of the swamp, is there a way we could procure some of those as well to not be affected by it?
It is an asset we hold near to the chest. It's not that I do not trust you, it's that I do not
Trust us.
trust that you will not fall and the antigens will go to waste. You see, the antigens come from the bloodstream of purebloods like me.
Oh. Son of a bitch.
that's very nice of you to float your blood out there for folks.
It continues the cycle of poison from the great Zaire. So he will come from the lake of blood and bear his fangs upon the world one day.
Okay.
Well, we will take you up on your offer to stay as we conference. Is there anything we can offer you for that hospitality?
Bring Lazarus to his knees and remove him.
That's the plan.
Either that or we die. So been there, done that. No big.
So, unless there's any more questions to ask her,
No, I think we can find a conference.
yeah, there's I mean, it's smaller here, but you guys could walk down to like a barracks. You see an entrance to what looks like to be a chapel. You see another room where there's like a fight pit kind of training room with a few Yanti fighting each other in there. And they lead you guys into a big,
It's a
large
safe
hall
pit.
with lots of like sleeping sacks on the ground.
Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine.
It's like big, like a dorm
Yeah.
room, big,
Like a
Like-
hostel.
like military barracks. Think of that.
Well, where do we even start to unpack this? Or where do we obviously we need to do this. It's just how are we going to do this?
I'm not a military strategist.
Alright, these soda bottles are rattling over here.
That's because we got the fancy soda that has the glass bottles.
Good stuff. Anyway, I got nothing. I mean, it seems like, and I could be wrong, the guy whose name escapes me now, but the guy who's in charge of the shipments might
Ulrich?
be. Yes.
No, that's not the shipments
That
guy.
is.
I can send all these to you guys too.
Yes,
Yeah.
please
In the
do.
Discord.
Because. But yes,
The Sidious Dre,
that one. Him.
described to you as a pale-skinned Goliath of towering size and stature,
But it seems to make
in
sense.
charge of
to-
supplies,
Yeah.
coming in and out via dock and cart, wagon, things like that.
But on the other hand, do we want Lazarus to know that we're coming that early? Because if we take out that one, I figure they'll find out pretty quickly that they're running out of supplies, and then they'll investigate.
The way she was talking, once we take out one of the generals, he's gonna know somebody's after him.
That's true.
That's why I'm not so sure that it matters if we take out the supplies, because we won't have much time to, it's not like we take out the supplies and then we have months of them in supplies.
What if we take out the supplies and kaboom?
Didn't she say that he was also prepared in case that happened?
Probably.
Oh, then yeah, maybe you're
All
right.
good lords are right.
And bad ones.
Okay.
Well, and he doesn't really care about the people, so he'll just, use up all the
Okay,
supplies.
well then
for
From what you
himself.
gathered, the supplies were more for him and his army, not the people. The people
Oh.
are kind of
Oh,
forced into
Fending for
slavery,
themselves.
and yes,
I feel
like
like
it is not
So
good.
what you're saying, Ghost Stack, is we not only stop the chain, we just blow up everything we can find.
If we can get out of there alive,
I
that's just a thought. Don't.
honestly,
I'm a man of the cloth, not a strategist.
we should probably disrupt his different armies he has. If we can show the wolves that have bent the knee and are working with the Laziers that he can be defeated, they could be allies, and then that would also help
What if
inspire the rebel groups.
What if we could find Marty?
Well, I mean, that was who I was thinking of going after, was his brother.
that would be the
So
next
just to run it
logical
back,
thing.
what is happening here is Lazarus is in charge.
Yeah.
He has the Laziers on his side, who have absorbed the wolves and pretty much either made them join their cause or die.
Yep.
And
Conform or die.
they are oppressing this town so they can live like kings, and as generals
Yeah.
would probably live more foppish, sustainable life than the commoners who were,
Slaves.
yes, not treated well slaves either. They rarely are, at any rate.
The biggest problem I see currently is getting into the city.
That's true.
Well, and
Well,
wouldn't
even if
his
we-
second-hand man be like the hardest to get to?
I mean, it depends on what it is they're doing. If they're going around and rounding people up, then no.
Well, maybe they're just looking for somebody to play them a song at the tavern.
No.
Oh
Okay, but what about the
god.
what about the guy that was the second hand? And if we off him, the other guys will just be like, well,
Well, so
Old Shah, the lizard folk,
what
the
it sounds...
leader of the Laziers before he was demoted.
or what if we say, hey, it sucks being demoted?
What you got from Queen Nusta, who's the Yanti you just spoke to.
Mm.
I don't know if I ever said her name. But anyway, she made it sound like there was maybe a bit of envy and hate
Animosity.
in his in Volsha's disposition to Lazarus. The foam in here looks like a
I don't
dragon.
like that angle.
It looks
you
like a
know.
dragon wing. It's kind of cool.
The enemy of my enemy is
So
my friend.
Ridara, which is the paladin that's also his bodyguard and leader of the militia, kind of get that if you were to take her out, it might cripple his army a bit, so they wouldn't be as fortified. Zamera, who is the religious consult of Bathsheba. People might lose, like the followers might lose faith. Be less of an influence of Bathsheba.
I think going after the crippling the army would probably be the best idea.
Ulrich
then.
is his second in command. Volsha is the former leader of the Lasirs, and Decidius is in charge of shipments, things of that nature. So it's really not which head do you want to cut off the beast, it's which head would you like to cut off first.
Cut off one head.
But you guys don't have to decide that
shall
now.
grow in its place.
Hail Hydra. Anyway, we move on. Probably makes sense to
I mean, I think that I would think.
crippling the militia.
The
Or the
first
army.
thing we need to do is we need to figure out how we're going to get into.
Well, aren't the snakes going to help us?
No, I think they just said they're only taking us to like the outer, and then
Yes,
we're
they
on
will
our
lead
own.
you to the outer, but
Do they have like a sewer system?
It's a marsh, I doubt it. The whole place is kind of a sewer.
No wonder
I
the
look
water's
around.
so poisoned.
And
it's all
casting
poop in
without
there.
a trace is only going to get us so far, probably. Just a guess.
Well, something tells me drawing mustaches on all of you is not going to.
Mustaches.
Hello! Good evening, everybody!
Classic Leah, just run by the enemy and wave at him. I don't.
What if? What if? Some of us pretended to be like shady folks that want to like join up, and we turn in some of the others as like, look at these new slaves we got you. Can we? And then we could let the others go later.
Why don't we all pretend to be shady people that want to join the cause? Why do some of us have to be slaves?
Well, because they probably want something to show our.
I look at at Pandora and Leoward and Ghostak. You guys don't really look that shady.
I have the disguise hat, though.
You still don't look that
I
shady.
could make myself look shady.
Also, they may know who you are based on the fact that they tried to assassinate your.
I
motherly
can
figure.
disguise myself. With
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just telling you.
I need to read the rules of the hat, but I'm pretty sure I can disguise it.
You can.
You can cast disguise self at will.
Yeah, that's the one. Just hope they don't accidentally tip my hat off while they're talking to them.
If
This
they are,
hat comes right off!
the downside to that spell though is if they are perceptive enough.
Yeah.
They could see.
And
see
remember
through
when
it.
you tried to do your crystal ball stuff? They saw right through that.
Scrying.
Well,
Yeah, well, no, I know. I was like,
Okay.
I know what it is.
I don't know, but you look
no, but
confused.
we weren't sure if it was them
we don't
blocking
know.
my.
We don't know if it was a block or if.
Maybe she didn't want to be found.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. We don't know what happened. It just
Well,
was foggy,
Yeah.
and I was kicked out.
But still, there's some magic hooja booja going on, and I don't. This
All
is
right,
what
so
I
magic's
say when I
off
don't.
the table. So what else is on the table other than an ass kicking?
I'm telling you, those of us who appear to be ne'er-do-wells, and in fairness, kind of are.
Okay. So basically,
I have
you
a
and
bit of a
Oscar are
checkered
going to lead
past.
the rest of us
To your
as
death.
slaves. Yeah.
What?
So what's the plan when we get inside and they
Force us into hard
Yeah,
labor.
They just take them off and say, "All right, to the slave barracks," and then they say, "All right, you three, get out of here."
Well, we want to join up though, and this is like our.
But what if
Boy,
they
you're trying
separate
to-
us?
We're trying to like be like, yeah, we want to join, and look, we brought this stuff. Can we?
Do you think that it's just like a club where we can walk in?
I don't know.
We're gonna be stopped the second that you touch the property.
I think
The second
We
we
could
touch
always
the...
say that we're wolves looking to join the cause.
You might have to change that outfit. You don't exactly look like a ne'er-do-well. Neither do you.
What if I say I killed a man of Helm?
That's not a. I mean, it's not the word.
if you
Are
said
we
that,
sure we want to do the hidden in plain sight, or do we just want to try to be hidden?
Well, I'm fine with that,
Or-
but you're not very good at that, Ghost
What if-
Sack.
How many people can you make go away?
2.
Oh.
Not 200.
Say,
It's
let's
just
just
2.
have the whole army line up, and then you just go.
It doesn't work with that many people.
Well, we could do 2. That's
Why don't you just turn
Do
into
2
like
at a time every
butterfly?
day until they're all gone.
That's one less person. Just turn
I
into
mean,
a butterfly
so-
Yeah, I
or
need to pull
something.
The
my
way
list.
that spell works is
Hey, she can turn into literally any animal, and that's one less person we have to worry about.
There's limits to
You
that.
could
But yes,
turn
any
into
animal.
any animal,
Any animal I've seen.
and yet we're still sneaking around old-fashioned ways.
You guys still have to sneak around old fashioned
Well,
ways.
yeah,
So
but
you
that's one
could-
less person.
We're in a marsh. You could turn into a snake and go scope out the area for us, or
Well,
a bird,
You could be like
I was-
a
or
like
a
a rat
crocodile,
and just go
or a
and find
newt.
a way in.
or
I
a
was-
horse.
thinking
I'm
if we
working on
got
it.
close,
Yes,
I could send
I can do
and
these
Squiddle
things.
pop up on my shoulder.
Hold on, I gotta find all
Send
the
him
things.
in.
Yes,
then
I
they
can
both
turn
could
in.
go.
to
Don't you
those-
have animals too? Uber, he would not blend in. Bears don't
I
belong in
What am I
swamps.
turning
well,
into?
it depends on how I roll, and I don't know if I can communicate.
Hold
Yeah,
on. Whoa.
Don't have that
Back
kind
up.
of communication
No,
like I do.
she does.
Wait, what? What am I doing?
How could
What?
they draw in the sand what they seen?
I don't know.
Excuse me. What's
It
happening?
depends on their performance check.
What's happening?
Maybe.
What am I? What? Okay, so if I'm turning into something small, what is my plan? I'm going into the city and hoping nobody notices. Almost there, and just kind of.
You're in a swamp. So
Why don't you just be a rat?
Y'all said
Or-
like a snake.
No,
First.
I said first of all, I said a butterfly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Those
so
was just listing different animals that would be
Okay,
good in
so
stealth scenarios.
we'll
for cities.
get back to what animal in a minute. So my goal here is I'm going into the city and doing what exactly? I'm looking for.
Reconnaissance.
Okay, but what am I reconnaissancing about?
A
like,
sneaky
what am I
way in,
looking
right?
for?
You're-
I'm looking
what
for
they're
a way
saying
for us
is
to
you
get in.
get just the lay of the land,
Yeah,
figuring out
okay.
where guards are stationed.
Yeah.
Okay.
See-
Okay. See if there's like a loophole
Have you
somewhere.
ever played a stealth game, Selena?
This is your moment to shine.
It's our Perico heist.
Yes.
Can I
It's
just
your
put a
moment to
cardboard
shine.
box over myself and just walk, like
No.
crawl in there? You know, solid snake.
If you went to
Oh,
I'm just
went
kidding.
to the shipping yard, maybe.
I'm just kidding. Okay.
What's cardboard?
Okay.
Use a
So
crate.
I guess you want me to do that tonight?
Well, no.
You want me to
wait.
do it in the morning?
Just hold your
You
horses.
guys are still about a
I'm
day and a
just
half
trying to-
travel from
Oh
the
well,
marsh.
fuck. Never mind. Don't do
Let's
that.
see.
We have to get near the city first.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need.
What kind of small
positioning.
animal are we wanting? I
I
have
think
limits, but I could do
a
just
rat.
about anything. We want a rat. Okay.
I'm not saying. What do you feel comfortable?
You
with?
guys are
What
about
would not
right
work?
there.
Okay.
Okay, rats are
Maroon
everywhere,
Marsh
so
is
that's
right
why I'm
there.
suggesting a rat. But you could be a cat. There's a lot of cats. I don't know how they feel about cats. You know, they might
Punt
kick
it.
you or something.
Make a history check, everybody.
Heist 3.
I need
So,
to know what animal isn't going to get stepped
Browning
on.
was right there.
Uh-huh.
What did everybody get for history?
Oh, great.
17.
17.
Come on.
I
9.
imagine your history is a
Look
negative
at
one.
my character. You'll get it to it faster, I bet.
Yours
It's
is
a
a
negative
-1.
one.
It's intelligence based.
Okay. 9.
9.
9.
You would know that lizard folk are known to
Eat everything.
eat, kill, and use bones, hide, things like that as tools, even of their comrades. So probably being something that they could eat or use wouldn't be the
That's
best
why I'm
idea.
saying be something smaller.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys
Map.
went from Browning,
Okay.
and you've been traveling down here to the
Okay.
swamp, and you guys are probably about right there right now.
Okay. I thought we were
The
literally.
West Grip
like
Har
right there.
Bridge is about right there.
Okay.
So you guys are
Okay.
right there.
So, in
Something.
Once Christopher comes back, he's going to finish up the nice looking version of the map for me.
As we're discussing, I do sit down and open up my book because I'm going to
My book of shadows.
turn squid from an imp into a snake.
Sure. Cobra.
It just says poisonous snake.
What do you want it to look like?
Coral snake.
Coral snake.
Coral.
Coral.
Coral snake.
Or like a cottonmouth.
He was the best villain of the Luke Cage TV show.
There.
I think he's actually smaller than this, but whatever.
That's okay.
Fantastic.
I found that in all the stuffed animals my dad brought me back.
I knew I was going to need this today.
Alright.
Just seemed like fun.
What do you have to say, Cowboy Leeward?
Have you heard of me? Perhaps you've heard of me.
He's down with it.
Mhm.
Anyway, okay.
Hefner gets
Okay. So,
You can at least kind of tell us what looks like a vulnerable,
well, yeah, no. I'll
or if
just turn
there's
into
like
a
a
rat
gate,
and
like a drainage.
find
pipe.
a spot.
Well, whatever we do, I just need to make sure that everybody's safe because we can't have anybody dying again.
Thanks for bringing it up. Still fresh wound, but thanks, Leeward.
Well, at least you only have one wound. I have the two. You see, my hairstyle is going back.
That's true. Okay. Fantastic. I'll do that when we get there.
So, does anybody else? Can anybody polymorph or anything? Do you know polymorph?
I don't think so. I mean, I can if it's available to me at that level.
I think it might be level 10.
I don't know if druids actually get that
I
spell.
don't think they do.
druids
It's usually
do
just
that.
like bards and
me
wizards
check.
or something.
Let me check.
Bards and
That might make sense.
let's see.
Tabbing books. Best thing we ever did. Okay.
Oh, some druids can. It's a 4th level spell.
I mean, I can have like Rocky just kind of. dig his way
Actually, I
around,
do
but-
have the ability to have polymorph. It's a 4th level spell. I will prepare that when we go to sleep. So let me go ahead.
So you
and
could always polymorph somebody else into one. I
Oh,
guess.
that's right. Yeah, you can cast it on somebody else.
I'm learning new things as we play. Okay.
Can you do 5th level spells yet?
Yeah, I can do 5th level spells.
Then you could cast it at a higher level to do 2 people, right? Is that how
Uh,
that works? I've never played a caster.
Hold
I don't
on,
know
I'm
these
gonna
things.
figure this out. As soon as I can read these tabs.
Yeah,
They're kind of fading a little bit.
I'm gonna have to redo those, or at least rewrite on them with Sharpie or something.
I don't actually know if that's how polymorph actually works.
I think you can polymorph.
If you know, tell us down in the comments and tell us how little I know about D&D and how I should read the rulebook before I DM.
It actually
Hard.
doesn't say if you do it at a higher level anything happens.
And probably not.
I could cast it
You
multiple
had a-
times though,
You
right?
could cast it
It's a
on somebody
concentration.
else, though,
Ah, fuck.
and
Yeah.
then couldn't she still wild
Yes,
shape?
she could do that.
Yeah.
You better not lose concentration when you're in there.
Well,
I'll just be a little rat going.
If you had like a
No, not on you. I'm talking about if you get hit and
Oh, yeah,
break
yeah, yeah,
concentration, then something
Yeah,
else.
that's a risk we
twin
might
spell
have
would be able to do it to more than one person.
that's what I'm
So-
thinking. Like something that flies. It's easier to get away from things.
to. Okay.
Like a crow,
Okay. That's fine. Let me read this.
a vulture. What's in the swamp? I don't know.
Do I look like I know?
You're
I'm from a rose place.
yeah, but you should know a lot about animals. That's
She
your
knows about
thing.
animals. She wouldn't know about the
flora and
ecosystem.
Terrain and
Yeah.
everything.
Are there
Just-
any snake people I can inquire?
Just remember.
You're in a room with a lot of
I
them.
would like to. Excuse me.
Oh wait, before you start asking random questions.
It's not a random question. I want to know about the birds.
Well, I do have something to say about magic.
Yes, go ahead.
With polymorph, mental statistics are replaced by the animal that it's changed into.
That's true too.
So if she transforms somebody into like a bird, you're gonna get
Bird statistics.
Have you ever
Bird
heard of
stats.
bird-brained?
Are there any smart birds? Like an owl?
I don't think I get a choice in what kind of bird you are.
yeah, you do.
Yeah,
I do?
I've seen it.
Yeah,
Like what type of bird?
Yes.
Or just in general? Oh, I didn't know that.
you turn it into a creature.
Oh, well.
So
turn me into something smart.
Let me
not
just
very
check
smart
my
to begin with.
fucking animal brain real quick. I need a book of birds real quick, too.
Well, I think
You
the
should
mo-
download the bestiary app.
I have it right here. It's right here.
So search beast in there, and then it'll sort everything by beast that you can turn into. For polymorph, I
Use
think
your
it's
filter
beast
up
as well,
here.
right?
mm-hmm.
Unless it's
I
true
got
polymorph.
it. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sort it by beasts.
It is by
Oh.
beasts. It's just from
Any
High
beast
to
whose
low.
challenge rating is equal or less to the target's level.
anything 5 or lower. Gotcha.
Target's level.
Target.
10 or lower.
I'm
Oh.
level 10.
Oh,
Is that-
well,
Is
that's...
that what it says?
No, because it should be half.
Yes.
Is it seriously? Because mine, for
Wild
shapeshifting,
Wild
is
shape
half.
is completely different.
So she can be anything level 10 or lower.
So you're 10 or lower.
Yes.
Holy
Yes.
balls. Okay. You said you wanted to be something that flies?
Or something smart. That's not obvious.
A giant ape. I'm just kidding.
I mean, yes, I've been one before in a
You're
different
gonna King
body.
Kong up the wall.
That's what Rivenet turned into.
Uh-huh.
I'm checking things. Y'all
That's one of the
continue
best things.
doing
Like
things.
the
I-
half.
I just wanted to make sure that was known before we just start willy-nilly asking about birds
No, I
to
get it.
polymorph into.
I'm looking. I promise. I'm looking.
No, it's fine. I just...
You'll see
I'm not gonna lie to you.
A red-skinned Yuan-Ti with the snake half come up to you.
Did you point at me?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
So, what kind of? I mean, I'm just curious about the flora and the fauna. Mostly the fauna around here. Birds. What kind of birds do you have around here? You have many birds?
Crows.
Crows.
Vultures.
Does it need to be high in
Vultures.
wisdom to be smart? Or
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
What would you say the smartest animal, besides obviously yourselves, is
Advertisement in the
in
game.
the marsh?
This snake is a very smart creature.
Do you have other smart creatures in the swamp?
I don't know.
I'm just,
Animals are animals.
yeah.
Find free approval ads on credit card.
Sorry, it's the app. It's ads.
Go ahead and just, like, bring your
I
speaker
lowered the
volume.
volume.
Yeah.
I know. I'm looking. I'm probably.
Well, thank you for that information. That's very helpful
Will
and
you be
interesting.
joining the cause?
I think we already have.
Good, Zahir be praised.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to infiltrate some things so that we can give you guys a better shot.
If you have free time, you should come train with the Yuan-Ti.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. That sounds like fun. What do you? I mostly use my fist, but I do have these.
In
got
the
my
training
hands.
pit, we do non-lethal training.
Okay, so not these.
No, but the staff on your back would be sufficient.
No. Yeah. I will warn you. I mean, I wouldn't go this far if it's training, but this has been used for lethal means before.
And perhaps you don't bring it in with you.
And in fairness, these have also been used to kill.
Well, perhaps you don't come in at all then. If
Well,
you're
I'm not
to
going.
kill
I'm not going to
someone.
kill anyone. It's training. I know the difference.
Good.
I'm gonna lose my damn mind.
Anything else?
No, it was great talking to you. When do you do your training?
Whenever Zahir pleases.
Well, let me know when Zahir
You
would be
could go
pleased.
in right now if you'd like. There's probably someone in there.
Hey, friend.
Huh?
All the animals in my beast thingy, they all have really shitty intelligence.
I
They're
mean,
all like
they're animals.
negatives. I mean, yeah.
When he said snake, a snake has a 1 intelligence, by the way.
Look, I'm trying. I'm still looking, but everything I found
hate
is
to break
literally.
it. I hate to break it to you, but I also have a negative intelligence.
Then what do you want from me?
A 9. It's okay. if
I
it
can
doesn't-
turn you into a. Oh Lord, where'd it go?
What about a crocodile?
Sure. If you want to be
That's
a
not
crocodile.
going to be subtle. It's a giant crocodile.
I think there's a regular sized crocodile in here. There's
But I
gotta be,
can't just walk around. They'll stab me.
They'll stab.
I'll stab
A
me.
crocodile just waddling
You said you
down
wanted to
the
be
street.
something that flew. Was crocodile fly?
I'm just. I could swim
One of them
around.
flying crocodiles.
I could
You can be a well, no.
swim around the perimeter.
Florida man claims flying
I guess
crocodiles.
that's true, but what if it's shallow?
Well, it is. It's a marsh, but
I
that doesn't
guess
mean
true.
you can't just.
Maybe
kinda-
we should go check out the place before we.
I'm
have
not
any plan in
disagreeing.
stone.
We're just
I'm
trying to
not
have a
right.
plan.
Look to the sky and see whatever animals flying around.
No, I know what animals, sir, because I inquired about this.
I know I was sitting right next to you.
Yeah,
Y'all are
crows
just
and
being
vultures.
mean.
He was a nice snake fella.
He was. He had a very pretty
It
lower
was
half.
weird because me and Oscar were pretty sure that Zahir, is that its name? Was a
That's
evil
their
being.
name.
That's the name of the
Zahir
deity
is
they
the-
worship.
I know. I'm
But-
saying you don't have to call it an it.
Well, he's genderless from what me and Oscar are.
What?
Most deities have a sex that they portray themselves as, but generally they're not a he or she. Especially this one
Yeah,
being
but that
a
doesn't
snake.
mean you need to call him it.
How do you know his pronouns?
Maybe they like they.
Here we go.
Well, maybe we could go ask the snake lady.
Let's not. I'd rather not.
I
That's
bet
a
they-
weird
you know
thing
what?
for you to get upset about.
No, I'm not upset. I'm just saying.
Well, anyway,
Oh, there
the
are
snake
lots of.
person, the snake god, they, it, he, she, them.
Wombo! Sorry. I'm gonna put that in there.
I forgot what I was going to say now because Navarro so rudely interrupted me. Yes.
You
they're-
thought they were evil.
Well, that's because it is an evil deity.
Well,
So, it is strange that they're being this nice to us.
Well, a problem we can deal with after we deal with
Again.
the bigger threat.
the enemy of my enemy is my friend at the moment.
Are we sure that she's not gonna take over and make it just as shitty as Lazar's headed?
I mean, it seemed like
There's a lot. It seems like there's a lot less snake people.
she seemed pretty sincere on what it was that they're doing in reinvigorating the poison by making the people that live here better with the poison, with the antigens.
Yeah, I think that the whole thing is the more she can pass around
I
her blood,
Don't
the more
necessarily know what all do I know about you, Auntie?
Make a history check.
Specifically, pure-blooded you, Auntie.
Make a history check with disadvantage.
This is like the hardest debate I've ever had to have in my life.
14.
14. Yanti are usually just like anything. They're not set in stone, but they usually hide out in deep underground caverns. Very rare to see one like in a city setting. They usually land somewhere between the lawful to evil. Somewhere they're usually never chaotic or good, usually. And most of them do worship Zahir, god of poison, god of snakes.
Not to paint every member of their species this way, but while not necessarily noble, they do follow their own codes. So if from what I picked up from when she was describing everything, it didn't seem like they had any ill will and they just wanted basically to go back to the status quo. But I think our first plan is to get to at least the outskirts of the city.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna send Squid in if you want to go with him as a different creature or as another snake.
Well, I was just thinking while you were explaining your things to us, I could also, to help, I can also cast Pass Without a Trace while we're in animal form, while Squid and I are, so at least we have that extra. In case something happens. It's probably good, or me, Squid, and whoever else wants to, I can change them into an animal too. An extra pair of eyes never hurt. But that I leave up to the decision of whoever wants to do that. Not needed, but I think Squid and I can handle it. But for that extra oomph.
My eyes will be Squid's eyes, so.
I meant like everybody except for you. I should have been more specific. Your eyes are already going to be occupied.
But we need to figure out the best way to get to the city, and who knows, maybe some of the rebel groups are outside of the city, and we can meet up with some of them there.
Should we already have a plan as to who we're going to go after once we get there instead of waiting until the last second to decide?
No, because it'll change.
Okay.
That's how it always works. We
We'll
make
just-
a plan and then it changes.
So the priority is just to figure out a way to get in undetected right now, and then we'll just kind of wing it. Love it. Here for it. Let's do it.
Getting in is going to be the priority regardless. If all of these generals are in the city.
Generals is a word that Xanthos like to describe his
I know.
army as being his higher-ups.
Interesting.
It offends your senses that a turncoat of Xanthos is having the same hierarchy system.
Well, I'm
It's
here
like a
for
slap to your Xanthos loving face.
I'm here for it.
Well, maybe the most important thing is once we get in there to find a place, you scout out a place where we can lay low and stay while we're in the city walls. Somewhere uninhabited.
You could be a spider.
That's an idea.
Squid's going in as a snake, so.
Probably going to be something that flies.
Yeah.
That way we've got both spots covered.
The only thing, if something happens, Squid'll be fine, because if he goes out, I can just resummon him.
Look, all I'm going to say, and then we never have to talk about it again, is I died once. And at this point, if it happens again, at least I know it's for the greater good.
Oh, what I was getting at is if something happens, you transform yourself and get the fuck out of there.
Well, yeah. Well, that too. But I just... You know what? Table that other thing I said. We'll come back another day to that.
But yeah, maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be some of those rebel groups that have made it outside of the city.
Yeah.
We won't know until we get there, so I think... Do we rest here tonight and head out in the morning?
Yeah, it's gonna.
Probably a safe bet. to
Because
do
you
that.
said, what, a day and a half?
I'm just gonna punch around with the Yon Tea out there, kill some time, and then go to bed. Because it's. I assume it's still early-ish.
It's about noonish.
It's like
Yeah.
noon-ish.
Well, let's go, let the queen know that we are going to head that way. And maybe we can barter for some supplies. I don't know how everybody's doing on potions and stuff after stuff that we don't talk about.
Okay.
And they might have a replacement diamond somewhere too.
Alright, well, let's figure out what we need to do. And get some potions and stuff if we can.
I guess I'll head back to the Queen. I don't know if everybody's gonna go with me.
Probably yes.
Depends on if you're gonna let Oscar go by himself.
I would probably just go to the trading area.
I'll go
Okay.
with Oscar.
Ghostak will go with you. I'd imagine Leo would stick with you. So you find yourself in the Queen's presence again.
Have you reached a decision?
Well, regardless of what it is we're doing, Lazarus is our target, and we would appreciate any help you could give. I think if it's fine with you, we're going to rest here for the day and head out in the morning.
It is permittable.
Is there any goods for trade around here? I know we're kind of low on some of our potions and...
For your help, we will allow 2 vials of antigen.
Pretty much, if you get poisoned, that takes care of it right away.
Ghostak and I are a little better with poison than everybody else, so...
I'm an herbalist. I'm an herbalist.
You're not there.
You're not the only herbalist.
I know,
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, like, I am actually quite good at making such things if I want to.
This isn't herbalism, though. This is alchemy.
They don't got that, but okay.
This
I
is
feel like
this is more
herbalism can have.
this is more chemistry than...
They'll also provide you with 3 healing
Well, it
potions.
is dealing with blood. I will say
Yeah.
that. Cool.
And they'll provide you with a telescope.
I also think I can do woodworking.
This telescope, this sightseer, is very magical.
Pretty much what she tells you it can do is it has 5 charges, and you can, whatever you're looking at within 100 meters, you can detect magic. And if you use all 5, you can use True Sight.
Recharge... What's the recharge on it?
Recharges 1d6 per day at dawn. I'll send you the specs on it. But and if you use all 5, you have to roll, otherwise it gets destroyed.
True sight.
And it's within 100 meters, sorry.
Okay.
So 300 feet.
Yeah.
Alright.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before you go, at the gates, there is a flag of Bathsheba. My men will know you are ready for us to attack. If you take down the flag and replace it with this.
She hands you a cloth whenever you unwrap it. It's pretty big. It's the symbol of Zahir with the skull with the serpent
Sweet.
crawling in and out of it.
I have my utmost faith in you. Bullies of the Backtrack and the Bluefield.
Yay.
I'm not there.
Where are your other members?
I think our monk was going to go train with some of your warriors. And the
Good.
bard is just following her around like a puppy dog.
I have not heard of Leeward Alros Torin
You know,
until now.
a lot of people probably haven't, unless you're from up near the Orangeburg area.
Is his music good?
I think it's okay.
I'm biased because I like to give him shit. It's not the worst.
Perhaps he will play a victory song once.
I'm
it
sure
is
if
free.
you asked him to play a victory song after we were done, he would make a complete concert out of it.
Would it motivate him to the task at hand?
Probably.
Tell him the Queen expects a performance of him upon completion.
Will do. Queen expects performance.
Didn't say what kind of
I
performance.
know, that's why I'm reading and writing it as I am.
Sex.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Sex.
After completion.
Sex.
Or to completion.
One
Play
less thing
games help
Navarra
kids.
has to worry about.
We might have to worry about something else if that's the case.
They're not going to be purebloods.
Okay.
How else do you think the queen reproduces? So, you done with the queen?
Yeah, I should be.
Okay. Naivara, you find yourselves in a training room with a sunken-in pit about 10 feet in the ground where you see a snake pit, where you see two Yanti sparring with each other. They each have wooden, kendo sticks in their hand. One of them knocks the other one out.
Me next. I say with my.
Yeah, and this one, it's
Bow
like
staff
a
in hand.
bright yellow kind of coloration to the scales.
No challenger. Step into the arena.
And we're gonna go to break.
Step into the arena.
Snap into
Remember, everybody, use the code
Leeward!
for
10% off
10%.
your order.
at.
WhiteRabbitGamingShop.com. It's actually
We'll be back.
It's actually the tab that's up right now.
Play games here.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Bullies at the Bed Dragon of Bluefield. You find yourselves in a training room, Nivara, stepping down into the pit. How do you get down into the pit? Do you use the ladder, or do you jump?
I'm gonna jump.
So you
No,
Superhero landing.
and sand kicks up. You see a bright yellow Yanti in front of you. 2 kendo sticks in hand.
Oh.
What do you do?
I hear you are training. I do like to train.
I am not only training, I am winning.
For now.
Let us not stand on ceremony.
Roll initiative.
Okay.
Nivara always getting in those one-on-one battles.
22.
I got a 2.
Ho-ho!
With a
Okay.
plus 20 to initiative, right?
So we are going, we are going to theater of the mind this.
Okay. And I will
He's
only
standing
use
about 5 feet away from you, at full guard, with his snake tail flapping in the
Cool.
wind.
I will try to hit him with my bow
You've
staff.
got,
then.
you've got Rob's man.
I know. I'm turning into Rob. Cool.
That's how you. So that's how you know my mind's like working full
Yeah,
tilt
cool.
though.
19. I'm sorry, 16, actually.
16 will miss.
Darn. I'll try to hit him again, though.
Okay.
19.
19 will hit. You're using your bow staff.
Mm-hmm. That's what they told me. Ooh. That is 15 points of damage. Full damage on that one.
Oh. Okay, so you come in with your bow staff, and you swing wide, ducks right underneath it, and with the tail end, you just smack him right in the head.
Bonus action dodge.
Sure. So he's going to make 3 attacks at you. 2 will be with his kendo sticks with disadvantage. Natural 1 on one of them, so he misses. You're 19 and an 18.
Neither hit.
That's what I rolled on the die.
Oh,
So
got
both
it.
of them will
Yeah. Well, I just assumed he was calculating it.
No.
So yeah, I would hope those hit.
God damn. This thing fucking shoots these dice out.
I
Wham!
printed the large tray for it too.
13 points of damage with it. And then with his tail, he'll whoosh, whip it at you.
Whip it.
Oh, wow, that one will hit too. Good thing you're dodging, because you rolled a natural 20. But
15
it's
plus.
still a 24 to hit.
Yeah, 15 plus.
Well, 15 was for the first attack.
Yes, that's why I'm.
And with his second attack, you will take 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Damn.
And
I'm not gonna beat him.
you need to make a.
No, he's not dead yet, John.
Yeah, I sacrificed you to the poison god.
15 plus what was the second? 6.
15 plus 16, so 31 points total.
Jeez.
And you need to make a athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay.
Otherwise, you are grappled.
Athletics or acrobatics, you said?
To escape the grapple.
Okay. Oh, that's a skill. Let me do
Just prints off a dice tower for you, and you're using
Cat butt.
Not even cat butt. Squishy.
I
butt.
just like to use everything. Why is it not? There it is. Sorry. I don't think I'm grappled. I got a 29.
Nope, you get out of it as his tail restricts around you. You're able to squeeze your leg out that it's wrapping around. And it doesn't feel good. It feels like kind of like a rash, like you're almost itchy down there now where it got you. As its scales really constricted around your bare feet.
It's fine.
Actually, you're not barefoot. You're your tightrope.
Yeah, they're
Treads.
like I like to think of them as like slippers, kind of.
Like
Sandals.
Like
like,
ballet
the
slippers?
monk slipper
Yeah.
things that they wear.
Yeah, or like kind of like the ballet slippers, but
Mhm.
without the thing on the end.
Could always be wraps too.
Okay,
However
well,
you'd like to imagine
let's go at them again.
What are you looking for?
There, that's what I'm looking for. That's a 29.
Yeah, that'll hit.
12 points of damage.
Okay.
And then 27.
That'll hit.
Stop. Sorry. 13 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I want to.
Rage.
I can't do that.
You're not a barbarian. You can't do that.
I need it to make a con save as I try to stunning strike it.
Doesn't that have to be unarmed?
No, it says a melee weapon attack.
Okay.
It's her monk weapon. She can
Yeah.
basically.
My hands are melee weapons, technically, but it's,
Victory's hands. You said Constitution?
Yeah.
yeah.
It just sounds like it just shoots that dice out at a crazy speed.
5. Is it
It
stunned?
is stunned until the end of my next turn.
Alright, so then
So I'm just gonna
it gets
beat him
his
up.
turn. You can see his eye.
That is the first time ever that stunning strike has worked.
No,
by
it's
the way.
not.
Yes, it is.
We've been playing. This is our 41st
Is it not?
episode.
No.
There's
it's
no
not.
way that's not the first
don't-
time.
I had very bad luck with it, so I'm glad it worked.
It's probably because what you've been trying to stun have been
I need to do
things
it with the little guys more often.
If I remember correctly, you tried to use it on a dragon,
Well,
at
no,
once,
I don't think
which could work,
could work.
but
You
it
don't
used,
know.
it used one of its legendary resistances.
Okay, so let's try this. That's 29 to hit
Oh yeah.
again.
Remember, you're rolling those at advantage,
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Is
yeah.
he stunned?
Should
just
I guess I
just
should.
in case you crit.
Okay, I'll do it on the same one. I did not. But I still. What am I doing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Something.
15 points damage. Okay, we'll try it with this one. Pretty good. 27.
To hit?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Nine points of damage.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and do flurry of blows.
Sure.
2 more strikes at
Cool.
advantage.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
So 28 for the first one. And that's 11 points of damage. And then 23.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is 9 points of damage.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, that's all I can do.
All right. So he breaks it now,
You
correct?
could have tried to stun him again.
I could have, but
Catch me.
where's the fun in that? Just wha-bam!
I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Could be cool. So he will. Are you dodging?
No, I can't.
Okay.
Because I use my
So he
keyboard.
will
Flurry blows.
20 to hit.
Just hits, yeah.
No, that's cocked. And that one will miss. So you will do. 10 points of bludgeoning damage with that kendo stick that he pops you with as he misses with the other one. But then he will wrap you with his tail. 24 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
And that one will do another 16 points of bludgeoning damage. And make a athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay. That would be 21.
21 is enough. Okay. So that is it for his turn. And he kind of slithers around to your backside, kind of encapsulating you in his tail like it's completely surrounded you.
It's fine.
But for these purposes, he's still a 5-foot creature standing
Sure.
within
Okay.
melee range of you.
Continue.
For flavor, though, he's...
I will continue.
Do a Pele kick.
Continue to use my bow staff because that's. I mean, that's what I agreed to do, so I'm not using the other stuff, obviously. 28.
That'll hit.
Points of damage.
Okay. Good. That's okay.
25.
That'll hit.
Points of damage.
Anything else?
Yeah, do another con save.
DC?
16.
Fail.
Boom, he's stunned again.
He locks up in place again. And you feel like kind of a pressure against your back calves as his tail kind of constricts.
Okay, well. Let's see.
So, his turn.
Yep.
Nothing.
$20.
Yep.
Okay.
You do it with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
15.
Okay, so with that first hit, as you come and crack him, with his teeth gritted, he will say, "I yield."
I'll back off.
Okay.
And bow.
So he breaks his stun.
And then attacks.
As you guys walk in, seeing Ibarra and the snake bow to each other. Very talented.
As were you. I'm feeling it. I'm at 18 out of 75, so.
It happens.
You are?
Yeah.
You
Wow.
hit her for
Yeah.
You hit her
36
quite a
points
bit.
of damage that
yeah,
first
really,
round.
he was rolling real high. I'm hard to hit
Mm.
usually, but
Yeah, you took almost half of her hit points off from that first attack.
I'm a glass cannon sometimes.
Class.
We don't have a lot of hit points. We just have
Will
ways
you
to
go
get
for round 2?
Not with 18 hit points, no.
If magic's involved,
We missed the fight.
it looks like it.
Yeah.
Leo would have inspired you at some point during that too, by the
Probably,
way.
yeah.
I forgot to do that.
Not that it
That's
mattered.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't need him.
Ouch.
I don't need no man.
Ouch. Even more.
Oh, I wish we could have seen it. Seems like you
You're
kicked
tough.
his ass.
Well, he's no slouch.
And I'm speaking to the Yuan-Ti that's in the pit. How would you rank your fighting compared to Lazarus's men?
We don't have direct confrontations with Lazarus' men, but they seem to be ferocious, such as I.
Oh, we got this no problem then, guys.
If there
You-
was but
yeah,
one of
I don't
them,
know,
it would
man.
be easier.
I hope they can't constrict. That was really wiggled out of that.
Yeah, you would have taken poison damage if that was. You also might have been poisoned.
Someday, maybe I will be immune to poison
Eventually.
if I stay on that path.
The Queen did give us a couple of things to help us on our journey.
Like what?
A couple of antigens and then 3 health potions.
That was nice.
And this,
That's pretty cool. What is that? I mean, I know it's a telescope. I'm
look
not.
through it.
Telescope of seeing.
She says you can look at it and decide if something's
Oh,
magic,
God.
magic or
I
not.
looked right in your in Ghost Stack's face.
If you look at it the other way, I look really small, shorter than usual.
Oh wow, you're like a mouse, Ghost Stack.
It's got a couple of interesting features to it. I
She
just
said you can cast true sight through it.
What's that?
It lets you, if you see I'm not going to say a creature, a being that is hiding its true form, you would see what it actually looks like. So, like,
Oh.
say Pandora used her disguised self, if you use the true seeing on that, you would see her for what she actually was.
Damn.
I would look exactly as I look. The caveat to that, though, is if you do use the true sight on it, there's a chance the magic will leave the telescope.
It's kind of like that wand Leeward has.
Well,
It still works like a telescope.
yeah. So, I mean, we got some distance we can see when we get closer for those that aren't infiltrating the city, at least.
I forgot to describe it to you too. Looks like a snake.
Got it.
Like the tip of it.
Yeah,
has
it's like a- yeah.
Like
So I'm looking
okay,
up a
that's-
snake's ass.
Bam. Bada bing, bada
And
boom.
Steve
the
gets
front of
it.
it's like the head of a
At
snake.
least it's not a horn.
It's a Vizuvula.
Ooh. Sorry.
She said we could rest here tonight. I mean, you probably need it after working out like that.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Yes, and I need to prepare polymorph.
Leeward will heal you.
Obviously.
Thank you, Leeward.
You're welcome. You okay?
Oh yeah, not the worst fight I've had.
You kicked his ass.
It's what I do.
Did anybody else have anything else they needed to do tonight?
No.
Leeward, Ghostak?
No.
No. Unless the queen would like to hear a performance.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was supposed to tell you.
There it is.
When we finish off Lazarus, The queen expects a performance from you after completion.
Like a song?
Maybe. I might have pimped you out.
What?
This would be much funnier if John was sitting there.
Won't we? We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. But you might be able to put on a concert here after we're done.
Well, sounds great.
Oh, and I will take out the flag that she handed me when we're ready for them to come in to assist with anything that we're doing. We need to take down the flag that they have up of Bashaban and replace it with this one over here.
Bathsheba.
Bashaban. I'm insulting the god
You can
as well.
take that lord's name in vain. I don't care about that.
Yeah. It's not like I'm saying I'm a god of Helm or anything.
God of Helm, that was so dumb. I loved it.
I am a god of
As we've been talking about
Is Brian
these,
Helm?
What?
Is Brian Helm?
No.
That'd be awesome.
I don't think so.
something might be though. As we're talking about all of
that's
these
none of
different
ours.
deities, I am going to feel for the coin that I have in my pocket. Am I feeling anything from it, or?
It's like a slight vibration whenever you touch it.
Okay. I didn't know if I was picking up anything else from it, but that's fine.
No.
About what time is it now then?
2 o'clock. Do you want to? We can skip forward to the next day, unless you have
Yes.
anything else.
I'm fine with that.
Role play the next 8 hours for me. I'm kidding.
So we're just sitting there.
So I started blasting.
Yes.
Bam! Bam! With my fists.
The guy tried to wander away, so I tried to punch him in the back. I don't run so good neither. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
We just need to
Go
know
to sleep and wake up the polymorph.
if you still want it. You don't have to.
I mean, I'll do it. I'll prepare
It's
it.
a day and a half away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have plenty of time. I'll prepare it just
But
in
if you
case.
do it tomorrow, you will then have to do it the next day. So
Well,
if
if
you
she
had-
does
if
it
you had
tomorrow,
time to
I can practice as a dumb animal.
Yes.
As a dumb animal. Jesus. All right.
My wife, the dead and dumb animal. Get over here, you dumb animal.
there are probably this is probably the only time you can actually call her that. D&D, the only time you can call your wife a dumb animal.
So anyway, we started blasting,
So,
and it's the next morning.
what are you guys doing? Anything else?
Being a dumb animal, apparently. I mean,
Yeah,
am I
I
gonna
guess we
practice?
I would.
You can. Sure.
What's the smartest dumb thing you can turn me into?
Oh God.
Sort animals by intelligence.
I don't think it works like that, but I'll look again because there was one that was at least not terrible. I just gotta find it again.
I imagine we would find the queen or the guard that she was gonna have scout us, or the scout that she was gonna have us go with on our way there.
And she would send you back with the green scaled
Aha!
T, the one that actually
A giant eagle.
met you guys at the,
That's the same as me.
sacred ground of Zahir with the statue.
Let me see.
I have his name right here. Where is it?
Sure.
Should you do a normal
Musta.
eagle? Not a big one?
We'll see
I
what
think a
an
big
eagle
one would
is.
draw attention.
So what are you guys doing?
Um,
I'm sorry,
What's
Nusta
a-
is
what's a
actually the
regular
name of
eagle?
the queen. That's my fault.
yeah.
Musta,
Stats are
that's what it
all
was.
I mean, they're not.
Ustar.
It's minus
Blue
2.
star.
That's not terrible.
I think we're ready to head out.
With advantage.
I will lead
and then
you.
it's
Yeah.
+2.
Are you ready?
What
Sure it is, we're gonna be.
what are you planning on practicing as?
An eagle.
How many eagles are seen around here?
Oh,
Not many,
oh, how?
Yeah, but if I fly up high,
but as I heard you saying, lizard folk are dumb animals and may not notice the species of a bird.
That's true too.
Birds do not provide pelt or
sustenance.
bones for the lizard folk to use.
So
That
we're-
being said, all of the Laciers are not lizard folk.
Yeah.
Misfits of all races
If I fly high enough.
are in their ranks. Come. We have a day and a half worth of travel.
So, what are you guys doing while you travel? Is there any preparation?
Do you really want me to turn you into a bird and risk something happening while you're
Well,
as
just
a
on
bird?
the way, so I can see.
You want to be the big bird, or are you wanting to be the little bird? The little eagle.
What is a?
The giant eagle?
Well, I think a giant eagle
Would
might
be
be
too big. So just a regular eagle is what you want.
I could be a flying snake.
That's
You
not
can
how
be
it works.
the regular snake, and I can be the flying snake.
I don't think that's how any of this works, but
Oh, how smart is a bat?
do you not have the app? Hold on, I'll look.
2
There's an
intelligence.
ad playing. Hold on, there's
That's
an
twice
ad.
as smart as a snake.
Oh.
It is twice as smart as a
Yeah.
snake. 3
See-
times as smart as a snake is a cat.
There you
What
go.
about what's a giant owl? Well, we don't want a giant one.
A regular owl is 2.
What about a horse?
I can't just be a random horse
Trotting
trotting
in.
around.
Oh!
Why don't I just try?
There's a
life
raven.
as
You want
a-
to see the raven one?
Yes, they're actually usually smarter.
2.
Oh. Well, shit. At that point, I might as well be a bat.
Yes, but you have to remember that, like, dumb people are still, like, a
I
6
know.
intelligence.
Like it's a bat. A bat's fine. I could be a bat.
Okay.
You still have
But that's
a
during
base.
the day. So just turn me into like a crow or a raven or something.
You also might think that maybe a bat isn't the best idea since Lazarus is a supposed vampire.
Oh yeah, I might not like that.
Okay, so you want to be a raven?
Yeah. Why is a raven like a writing desk?
What?
There is no answer to that question.
Alright.
What?
You want me to do it now?
That's what Brett always asks.
You want me to do it now?
Yeah.
I'm going to polymorph her
Don't do it
into
now.
a raven. Wah!
You
Caw.
I'll send you the stats. So
you are a raven.
I'll send you the stats. So you have it.
There it goes.
And you perch on Pandora's arm.
Oh, that's adorable.
Now pretend that you're 3 times as dumb. You dumb animal.
I have
There you go.
one.
1 hit point. All right.
But that's what these are for. I'm just practicing.
It's a test. It's a test.
I can also mimic simple sounds it has heard, such as a person whispering, a baby crying, or an animal chittering.
Oh, great.
Chitter.
So what are you trying to do in your raven form?
I'm gonna try to fly.
And you never come back?
Caw. No.
Yeah, no, you're up above the tree line, soaring pretty quick. What are they doing, like 40 feet?
50.
50? Yeah, pretty fast. About as fast as you used to running, but it's just a different perspective being a smaller animal.
Yeah.
Make a acrobatics check as you swoop down through the trees.
What's that?
Plus
Dex?
2.
Plus 2.
Unless a raven is proficient.
I don't think. No, not at
They
all.
have a plus 2 to perception, though.
Actually, it says plus 3 to perception.
That's what I just said.
You said plus 2.
I
Plus
thought
3.
you said plus 2.
Yeah, you did say
Yeah.
plus 2.
I meant plus 3. Well, plus 2 for Dex. thought I said
You
plus
said
3.
acrobatics.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's plus 2 for Dex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's 17.
Yeah. No problem, you can land back on Pandora's shoulder.
Nice.
So far, so good. I'm just gonna kind of get used to it, I guess.
Lasts for an hour.
I think so. Let me check. I thought I saw it, but I don't think.
I would also like to
Yep.
attempt to
About an hour.
mimic whispering. So everybody needs to make a wisdom check to see if I'm convincing.
Insight could also be what you could replace it with.
Yeah.
Mod 20.
Oh, you know it's imitation whispering.
Do you want me to roll for Leeward?
I already did.
He has a plus 5 to insight. I got a 16.
If anybody got below a 10, it's phenomenal mimicry. But
Who are you trying to whisper as?
I'm just trying to whisper like, I don't know.
Is there someone here whispering?
like trying to sound like
It's-
probably Pandora.
It's
'cause-
Nivar.
Pandora! You have an imposter.
It's Nivar Crow.
Huh.
Or Crowvara. Crowvara.
Provara.
Knock it off. Leord got a natural 20, so he's not fooled. You know, I could give you some tips on how to better perform if you would like.
Oh boy.
My feathers ruffle. Caw!
He tries to take you on his hand.
My bird! I'm just kidding.
Animal handling?
Yeah.
What
What is
is
that
his animal
versus my
handling?
what?
Plus 3.
Because
Plus
I
what?
wouldn't be my normal like
Wisdom, probably.
instincts.
Plus what?
3.
What did you get?
I didn't even. I could probably hop on there because I only got a 6. It's wisdom.
Good, because he got a 7.
Oh.
Rolled a 4. So yeah, you hop on Leeward's shoulder.
Ah!
I'm sure whatever you said was lovely.
Fun, Stevie.
And occasional whispers that sound like Pandora, but not very much like Pandora unless you're Ghost Deck.
Sounded just like her.
So
Yes.
an hour passes. You eventually pop out of crow form.
I-
With all of your memories.
Yeah.
Raven form, sorry. You think it's as long as you don't do anything stupid. But
Yeah.
who knows?
I'll probably just stay up high.
You might want to eat before you do it, just in case you get hungry while in bird form, so you don't go after like a rat or something that one of the lizard guys is eating.
Otherwise,
Oh.
they'll just snatch you up and try to eat you.
Yeah, they
And
might.
you'll turn into a person in his mouth, and that'll be awkward.
That's gonna be awkward.
Pa, 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 pa.
Get your mouth off of me, you dirty lizard!
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. So help me, so help me. Cut.
I just figure that way we can divide and conquer, because I won't be
I
able to
like
do
the
it for
flying
too long.
snake.
I mean, I suggest.
So can you do that to anyone? Can you turn me into a polar bear?
Would I have seen a polar bear?
You've seen Uber.
Yeah, you seen Uber.
Oh, is he
Yeah.
a polar bear?
Mhm.
This whole time I thought it was a brown bear. My bad. Yeah,
That's because I keep
I could.
getting bears.
Mm.
How many slots do you have at that level?
4? No, 3. I have 3 level 4 spots.
There you go.
Slots.
Man, so many spell slots.
Till we level up, and I think I get one more, maybe.
So
I don't
many
know.
spell slots.
So, you guys travel an entire day. Unless you're doing anything else, you find rest.
Does anybody else want to practice being an animal? Is the question.
For funsies, I guess, if you want to be an animal. My slot will reset
I'm fine.
at night anyway, so.
I don't know how my arm will deal with being turned into an
Just
animal.
an illithid polar bear arm, you know.
So
You can certainly find out.
I don't know.
no,
if
I
that's
don't
worth it.
think I need to try that.
I don't want to risk that either. Did Ghost Act want to be a polar bear for an hour?
Yeah.
I'll cast a polymorph and turn him into a polar bear. Uber's with us, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Ghost Deck
Do you
gets
have
turned
one more of
into a
those?
polar bear,
Turn me into
And
a
then-
floating snake.
immediately mauls
Hold on.
Uber.
Oh!
They start wrestling.
Oh, okay.
And Ghost Deck eventually loses all of his hit points
And he just turns back.
and turns back into Ghost Deck.
Oh.
Oh. That'd make the fight more fair.
I was gonna say, I think I can only cast it on one person at a time. So now that he's not a polar bear,
Your
if you
turn.
want- You want to be a flying snake for an hour to get the experience in?
No, it's okay.
Okay,
We probably shouldn't
do
risk
that
it.
anymore.
How is our guide reacting to all of this shenanigans?
Very stoic, very nose in the air. This is a little bit below me.
Sorry. We're all about the fun times when we're about to die.
Hey, if we're gonna die, we might as well turn into a flying snake before we do.
Did you want to try it?
Yeah, Leo, why don't
No.
you try it?
Not Leeward. I was talking to the
Oh,
guide.
No, I think I'm okay. It might affect my singing voice.
but you turn back into yourself.
I'm okay, thank you.
What if you could turn into a songbird?
I don't want to have Leeward do something that would maybe put him in danger while he's not here.
He
Yeah.
could be a songbird, though.
He might get a frog in his
Maybe
throat.
another time.
Yeah, we could do it in a safe space.
Maybe another time.
You could turn into a goat and mock Shine Bright.
I would like that. I don't like Shine Bright. But perhaps another time.
Glad my voodoo
what
hoodoo
if we
magic
get
makes the
attacked
people
and
happy.
Pandora needs her spell slots?
That's true.
We've already used 3 of them.
2. Alright.
Maybe before we go to sleep, we cast the tiny hut to sleep in. You can be the flying snake in the dome.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else.
Nothing.
So you cast Tiny Hut.
Yeah.
You guys find rest. You get turned into a flying snake. And you're slithering and flying at the same time. You don't have wings. You're just magically flying.
Oh, is that what it is? It's like a little, like a Chinese
The
dragon?
serpent, yep.
That's awesome.
You're welcome.
It looks
can I
very
say?
strange.
It says it has wings in the pictures I'm looking at. But it's whatever the DM chooses.
It can have wings.
No, I don't care. Whatever you want it to look like. I like your imagination better.
Roll a d20 for me,
Okay.
Pandora.
Oh.
You were like, I'm
It
ready.
depends on what types of flying snakes she's seen.
14.
14. You have read about the southern flying snake that hails from the Jewel Isles. So yes, it does have wings.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Whereas the northern one, the one that you're more accustomed to here, they're very rare, don't have wings.
They just like slither in the air. Very freaky.
Yeah,
But
like
at
a
least you have
Chinese
the ones
dragon.
with the wings. Not so freaky.
From where I come from.
From the southern hemisphere of this globe? World? Whatever you'd call it.
Sounds
Plane.
Plane.
And then I'm just gonna have my fun with flying, and then Danger Noodle curl up on her shoulder.
cool. I'm just kidding.
An hour passes.
But just, oh, God.
So, for the sake of this, we don't need to do watches. It's
Yeah.
uneventful, regardless of what you see.
Okay.
Wake up in the morning.
Feeling like P. Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
Let go.
Brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack. Because when we leave for the marsh.
There's not
Coming
coming back.
back.
So we're about a half a day from the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
From your guys' patrols, I know you guys have been keeping at least a little bit of a watch. Where's the best place to see?
The town of the marsh is in a bit of a valley. There is a spot to the northwest that provides great vision upon the town square, and a lot of its denizens. Perhaps through your sightseer that the queen gave you, you can see farther than the naked eye would allow. I will lead you there, and I will return. We will wait for your signal. May Zahir be with you on your journeys as we go forward.
Thank you. As we are heading to this area, I do want to be on the lookout for possible tracks
Mm-hmm.
of what could be rebels or Lazarus's guards, like doing a patrol thing.
Sure.
Or,
Yeah, just signs of patrols.
because I am interested to see if, as we get closer to the town, if perhaps we run into some rebels.
Mm-hmm. So as you guys continue in the morning,
I also would assume that we would discuss where you're like searching and, you know, where I am. Because I assume.
We'll figure that out when we can get
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
thing and can see inside the city with the
Okay.
looking glass.
Yeah.
so as you guys get closer, it's colder. Still like the January of this world, but it's definitely more muggy.
Yeah.
Moist. The pathway grows denser with red foliage, and you see pockets of water that kind of have a red tint to them due to this just the red color of the soil here, really giving off a maroon color. As you guys get closer and closer, when you look up to see the sun, you don't see the sun. It is still light, but you don't see any direct rays from the sun. It's clouded by a fog or a mist that shadows the area. A lot darker than you think it would be for morning time. About 3.5 hours in, everybody make a perception check.
Leeward has a +9 to perception.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm checking mine. I know what mine is.
14.
15.
28. I assume Ghost Egg didn't do well.
No, you did not. Your guide will stop.
Into the trees now.
Do I see anything?
Are you getting into the
When-
trees, or are you
Yes,
looking?
getting into
when
the
he
trees.
says that, I nudge one of the two elves, cast Pass Without a Trace.
I'm gonna cast it.
Okay, so you cast it, and those of you that rolled above a 15, I think everybody but Ghostack, right?
She
you
did.
see
I got
a
15.
I thought you
group
got
of, you see off in the distance, maybe about 100 feet away, a group of about 4 or 5 lizard folk walking the path, getting closer to you guys. Everybody make a stealth check. What does Leeward have?
+6.
plus 10.
28.
24.
Okay, Leeward got a 31,
Nice.
and Ghost Act got a 13.
Oof.
Oh!
So,
That damn disadvantage.
you guys are able to cling to the backside of a large willow tree as the patrol passes.
You said there was 5 of them.
5 of them, 5 or 6, yeah.
Did they have anything with them, or just patrolling? They weren't taking anything with them?
No, just patrolling. They seem to have very rudimentary, just like clubs and different weapons. And they did have on their garb the symbol of Bathsheba,
Bathsheba.
Yep. which is like almost like an antler-like form.
Okay.
It is safe. Let us go.
Do you continue in?
Mm-hmm.
And we have that for what, the next 10 minutes then? Next hour?
There's an hour.
It's an hour.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
for the next hour,
Mm-hmm.
It is this way off the trail.
it'll take you off to the left. You guys walk the remainder of the hour. You get up to the top of this hill. You look down into the valley and you see a town. Town with the maroon marsh. Surrounded, it's kind of in a valley. It's not like a deep valley,
Mhm.
but it's at the lower part of the swamp where the waterways meet. Almost like it acts as like a river for the supply trade. The terrain itself is surrounded with thick foliage, swamp-like terrain, and a large stone wall surrounds the city. What are you guys doing?
Well, I'm going to thank our guide because I think this is all the further he's taking
Yeah,
us.
think of him first.
We will wait for your symbol. There,
And I'll point to the front tower.
replace the banner of Bathsheba, and we will fight.
Going to take out the looking glass and look through it.
So as you look through it, you do see the main gate, heavily fortified, thick wooden doors. Look like there's probably like 10 or so guards out front, most of them lizard folk. All of them dressed in similar garb to the other lizard folk that you had. Do you have the...
I assume I did.
Yeah,
She handed it
you
to
never
me.
gave it to anybody.
Oh, Ghost Stack was playing around with it.
Oh, that's true.
I
assumed
let
you
him
gave
play
it
with
back.
them. I imagine I'd let everybody play with it, but
He was playing with it until Leoward probably made an eye for detail joke, in which he gave it back.
probably. We'll say that's canon. I'll depress the telescope in and look back at the guide. Thank you again.
Thank you, Herald of Zahir.
Sure.
He will slither off.
God, I have so many gods after me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Poor little warlock.
My God might forgive you, but I don't.
Alright, so
After the guide leaves, I will boop, and just look at different quadrants of the town.
Okay. And it's still pretty hard to make out from where you guys are. You do see several figures along the wall. You see along the southeastern side, you see what looks to be like docks with a few ships on them. The center of town seems to almost have a house that's elevated above with a smaller fence around it. It's really hard to make out the actual people.
Okay, that's
But
fine.
you do see, people, figures walking in and around. Some of them seem larger than others.
Well, one of them, I already know there's a Goliath in there somewhere, so.
But like bigger, like noticeably bigger.
neat.
I want to focus on one of the bigger ones.
Sure. Make a perception check with disadvantage is pretty far away. 11. It's not a human like movement. It seems animalistic. And as it kind of walks down one of the streets, you see whatever crowd is around it disperse immediately. You see several of them.
Oh,
There's something big down there.
great.
Let me take a look.
Don't drop it, and make sure you use your good eye.
Doesn't look human. You're try.
Yeah, why not?
Perception
roll?
check and disadvantage.
Perception. Disadvantage.
What do your elf eyes see?
With disadvantage, it's
Actually-
an 18.
You do a straight roll.
Oh, okay.
Just re-roll.
Unless it's
Oh.
worse.
It was worse.
That's
15.
fine. We'll let you do the 18 then.
Okay.
Looks animalistic. Looks very similar to the movements of a alligator.
A big alligator?
Mm-hmm.
It's a big alligator.
Could've
I
been a
think.
giant crocodile.
Could be.
It could be a crocodile. I don't know. It seems like an alligator.
And it's in the water, right?
Just
Walking through the
hanging
town.
out.
You haven't
hanging
looked through
out?
it.
Oh yeah.
It's just hanging out. I feel like turning into a crocodile would offend
Can
me.
I get that back, please? And then I'm looking for.
Steve, did you lose your toy?
I want to look at all like
Did you lose your toy?
entryways into the town,
Mm-hmm.
He lost.
and then scan the perimeter, as much of the perimeter as I can, to see if there's like maybe a more hidden approach.
Okay, make a perception check with disadvantage.
8.
8. You see what seems to be an entrance by the docks around the south side, and then this on the northeast side. You see one main entrance. That's about all that you can see. Seems as if any other entrances might have been blocked off, destroyed, filled, from what you can see.
So we're gonna have to enter in from the docks.
Is that where the supply chains are?
Probably.
Yeah.
Can we climb the wall?
Can you?
I don't know. I can't see shit from here. We're still too far away.
Can't you do that thing where you like step?
Well, yeah, for 20 feet. How high are the walls? How high did they look?
How high do they look?
20 feet might be pushing it.
Might be a little much.
Can we send Rocky in there and have him make a hole for us?
I don't think we
I
want to
think
bring
that
that much
might-
attention at once.
Yeah.
Make it obvious.
Looking around where we are,
Pretty well hidden in the foliage up top.
is there a pathway down towards the city?
There's not a pathway, but you could definitely find a way down there.
Okay.
It's not like a steep incline that you guys are on.
Okay. Do we
You're
want
probably like 600 meters or so away.
meters or feet?
Meters.
Okay.
So you're about 3 times the distance from when your telescope would be
Yeah.
effective.
Let's get closer then.
How close are you getting?
I'll cast Pass Without a Trace again for we might need it. And the
I
closer
can
we
use
get-
mine.
Let's
Ew,
use the
see.
free one first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You also have a free one.
How close are you getting?
I need to remember that. But yeah.
The tree line does grow thinner.
Probably the edge of the tree line.
Edge of the tree line would be
I don't know about the edge of the tree line. Maybe
edge of the tree line would be about 300 meters away, 200 meters away.
Maybe that's maybe what we have to do. Yeah, let's start heading towards the edge of the tree line and being on the lookout for
Anything
anything on the way there.
Okay. So go ahead and make stealth checks as you get closer. Double 19s for Ghost Stack.
Dang.
16 for Leeward. So 29 for Ghost Stack. And Leeward, you said, was a +9?
+6.
+6. That's still pretty fucking good.
And then add another 10 on
27.
25.
it. 23.
Okay, so yeah, you're all able to make it right up to the tree line, and you're probably around like 200 feet away. Not
What-
200 feet, 200 meters
What
away.
can we see from where we're at then?
Well, you're a lot closer. The wall towers above you, so you can see the entrance, the main entrance, and then it looks like a wall. You can't really see around the back side of it. What you do see is several guards. Look like they're patrolling the top.
Well, what are
Does
we
the
doing?
tree line go around the marsh then?
Partially. You can probably get most of the way, depending on where you are around it. Like if you go near the swamps, to the like where the river comes through, it'll probably be a lot less dense. So stealthing there might be harder. And if you were to go to the other side of the entrance, you'd have to run through the main path,
Okay.
putting yourself. What are we doing?
At some point we have to.
Just standing here and looking at it?
I don't know. Where do we want to... Where do Squid, Ivara, and I need to enter in at, though?
What are you gonna be?
I think she's going to be a raven.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to do... A raven, too? I don't know. Do you think I should do a different bird?
No.
No, that would be.
Too sus?
We'd make.
Probably enter through the sky. That's usually where birds
Stop.
come from.
But maybe in Ivara
Try not
goes
to
one
look
way.
too cautious as an animal, because that'll probably arise more suspicion.
I'll summon Squid around my neck and let him slither down my arm. Go check it out, Squid.
Begin slithering.
Are you ready?
Yep. I'm not gonna do it for too long because I don't want to accidentally go over an hour.
Okay. I will polymorph Ivara into a raven. And then I will
And I will
wild shape into
go to the left.
a raven as well. And I will go to the right.
Should we stay down here or should we get back farther up?
Well, we need to be able to find. Well, I can't.
Hurrah!
If I'm gonna look
You
through,
know where you were back up
That's
there.
what I'm saying.
if I'm gonna
is
be
if
looking
they-
through Squid's eyes, I need to be a little closer.
So if they move, we won't know.
I'll stay right here.
Okay, that's good. Somebody's. But what's Leeward doing?
I'll stay with you, Ghost Tech. Unless you think they would like to hear a song.
No.
Oh, shut up.
Pass. Pass.
How loud are you doing that? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not Tam's done.
Aggressive
What would
but
you roll for
soft. Aggressive but soft.
it? So you guys
Yeah.
fly up. So when you fly over the town, and as you enter the main gates,
Yeah, I sit down, cross my legs, and my eyes roll in the back of my head as I'm looking through Squid's eyes.
yeah, there's like a bunch of ramparts built up of, like dilapidated carts and chopped down trees, like a fortification that they have. But as a snake, Squid can get in and out no problem. Make a stealth check for him, generally.
checks. 17.
Oh yeah, you get through no problem. There's a few lizard folk, a few humans, an orc, all keeping watch up front. Can you hear, or can you just see?
I can see and hear.
Yeah, you just hear them kind of grumbling, just kind of talking to each other about how bored they are. Nothing of real interest.
Mentally, I try to nudge Squid to those big things that I saw.
Okay. So Squid slithers in through a crack in the wall. You two, flying overhead. Several things catch your eye. But the thing that catches your eye the most would probably be the center of town, where that elevated house was that you saw. There appear to be like what look like gallows and stockades displayed in front, as well as you do see like a taller ship near the shipyard.
While we're up in the air, do we notice any like spots along the walls where there's not as much?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Can we both do that?
Mm-hmm.
Natural 20. Plus.
Remember, it's with us. Well, no, she gets
She has her perception
I
check.
probably
Yeah.
don't.
So it's 28 for me.
28.
You have
as
a plus
look-
3 to perception, Nikki.
I know, but I got a 7. Hey,
As
why don't
you
I
look-
take a reroll? We haven't done that yet tonight.
Okay.
I did pay for those.
Yeah.
We
I
have
paid
a
for some of
fuck
those.
I got a 2. Let's do one more. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, it's 1. So no, it's not meant to be.
I
I went
Pandora,
4, 2,
you
1.
look.
It's your first time.
There's
being
only
an
2
animal.
entrances to this town that haven't been completely destroyed. It looks like there were a couple others that have been like blown up and barricaded. Those look like they might be probably easier to get through. But what does catch your eyes on the backside of town, you do see a sewer grate, but does look like it's pretty heavily guarded as well. Not as guarded as the front gate. You see maybe 2 guards at it.
Okay. Those spots that are on the wall, where there's still wall, are they? Is it very guarded right there?
Yeah, it's pretty like all around the top of this. There's patrols constantly,
Okay.
but the sewer grate entrance, maybe about 2 feet tall, 3 feet tall. Look like if you really could find a way through the grates, you might be able to climb through it, or like crawl through it. That's guarded by like 1 or 2
Okay.
guards. What else are you doing?
I'm just flying around.
Not
again.
knowing that he's doing his thing with Squid, do we see the big creature in more
Are
detail?
you getting closer? You are seeing about all that you can see at the moment. Nicole.
I mean, I can't see. I did terrible on my perception check.
That is a perception for what you were looking for.
No,
then.
but
I'm asking if you were getting closer.
I'd say,
I would get.
probably like, I would observe any other birds and stay around that.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Perception
Okay,
check.
Pandora. Okay, so Pandora
No,
will want to.
Are there building? There are buildings.
Yes, there are
Is
buildings.
there like a little house I can land on just casually and look around?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to do
Okay,
that.
make a perception check to see if you
Okay.
can see anywhere that would be better to land than others.
It's better. That's +3, so that's 14.
You see a partially destroyed building.
Yeah, we'll just land
Looks
on
like a lot of its windows have been busted out and boarded up. The top floor on it
there. Yeah, I
looks
just
like
wanna
there's maybe an explosion in there.
land on like a ledge.
Yeah. And you're facing the center of town. Do you land with her?
Yeah, I'll go with her.
Okay. So,
Not that close to her. Don't be suspicious, obviously.
Well,
Just
yeah,
so
two
you know.
birds sitting next to each other. Who would say, "Hey, those are intruders! Kill 'em!"
They're birds!
I don't know if these guys have things.
Over caution is a thing in D&D.
Yeah.
I know.
So, Oscar, through Squid's eyes, you slither along into the street. Make a perception check with Squid. Make a perception check with Squid.
Mm.
10.
10. Snake waits for a while, is observing the main street.
Just picture this little snake.
You see every once in a while somebody kind of dressed in rags scurry through the street. Look like they're frightened, covered in dirt.
Makes sense.
You see the occasional person wearing the Bathsheba garb.
People of the cloth.
We're soldiers, I guess. They
Until
all wear.
you hear,
Oh god.
and Snake looks behind him, not Snake, Squid, looks behind him and
Squid
sees a rather large reptilian creature mounted by a lizard folk. The saddle on it, as it looks like these lizard folks are using trained alligators as mounts to patrol the area. You see somebody stumble out into the street in front of it. Snaps at him. The person gets up, scurries off.
You said these are alligators.
Uh huh. And the lizard folk snaps a whip at the person, cracking them in the back as they fall.
Oof.
Back to work.
Oscar's blood starts to boil a little bit.
Yeah, I bet Oscar is triggered for
Oh,
sure.
100%.
And
There's a
what do
reason.
we
What is
see
Snake doing
with
now?
our bird eyes?
With our cloggy bird eyes.
How far can Snake's vision go with you?
Not super far. I'm probably right at the edge of it right now.
What is it?
I think it's 100 feet, so it's probably even further than I need it to be. Well, no, the telepathy is 100 feet.
Okay.
It doesn't actually, I don't know if it actually says for... let me
Is it
check.
not? Yeah, you keep going.
Looks like.
Spells... Find familiar. While your familiar is in with 100 feet, you can communicate with it telepathically. Additionally, as an action, you can see through your familiar's eyes. So it's two statements. It's how you want to run it. The telepathy and the looking through eyes are the same thing, then it's 100 feet.
We'll say Snake was quick, and your bond with Squid was well enough that you were able to see that. But any farther would probably,
That's fine.
yeah.
Like I said, it's however you want to run it. I know in the wording, it's two separate
Yeah.
sentences.
You know, probably like 500 feet I think would be okay.
What?
So,
oh, God.
you
You're gonna
two,
bite me.
Oh, he's not gonna bite you.
you're like paranoid of Steve like Susie is.
I'm not paranoid. He's giving me the same eyes he gave me when he scratched my face.
He had food.
You two,
Yes.
in front of this nice looking house compared to the rest of them. You're in a dilapidated building at the moment. You're a couple hundred feet away in a busier, what looks like it used to be a busier town square. In the alleyways underneath the streets, you see like sewer systems, like almost like the marsh kind of runs through this entire town. Lots of buildings in shambles around here. You can tell which buildings are inhabited by the Laciers. or anybody ranking high in the military of Lazarus. You see a gallows structure and swinging from the top. You see a handful of bodies left on display. Stockades on the ground in front can also be seen with bodies in them. Can't tell if they're living or deceased. Several bodies are either nailed to trees nearby or hung in a display. What you can imagine would be somebody who went against Lazarus's word and will. What else are you guys doing?
I mean, I'm not gonna stay there.
I'm
too
gonna-
long, 'cause
I'm
I
gonna-
can't last that long. So
I'm gonna just kind of nudge her while I'm getting ready to fly. Well, not like subtly. I'm not just gonna be like, whoa.
just kind of do what birds do.
Yeah,
kinda,
like that, and then just kind of. I'm gonna make sure she flies ahead of me, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll fly away.
What else are you guys looking for when you're in here?
Just entry. I am only
I was
looking
just-
for points of entry that
Yeah.
are subtle.
And then I was also curious about the big figure, but I'm not willing to get that close to see that.
Okay.
So I'm ready. I got the intel I needed, and I don't want to. Pandora doesn't want to risk her being unpolymorphed in the
Were
middle
you
of
looking
this.
for anything else? It's been maybe 15 minutes.
I
You
mean, maybe
understanding
where
how
the
polymorph works.
church is, where all the religious freakos are.
Make a perception check with disadvantage, I suppose, or both of you can do it. With
Yeah, let's just both do it.
well, just one of you do it then.
Okay.
Just one of you, if it's since you're giving her advantage on a disadvantage. So it'd
You
just be
roll.
your
Just
roll,
do it, just
Nivara.
do it, just
Okay.
do it.
What did you roll there?
I
You
rolled a
already
12.
Plus,
3.
so 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to find what seems to be a synagogue. It's got black antlers kind of sprouting out, painted onto the wall.
Is it like super guarded?
Just like most things.
Yes.
In this
I'm
town.
yeah. I don't know what to do.
I'm thinking.
And the only other thing is I would like to do, I will just,
I will say, you guys are kind of pussyfooting around with the reconnaissance. You're being overly cautious with.
I would
what
like
you're
to do
able
a wide sweep around the perimeter to just see, I would like to go up as high as I can
Uh-huh.
and just see if I see any other groups.
How high?
Well, like 50 feet is how you can go in 6 seconds.
Okay. So you get up 50 feet in the air.
Yeah, and I want to look
Oh.
out beyond the perimeter to see if there's any like rebel groups or
Yeah, make a perception check. If you're just
is it just regular perception?
yeah, you're not looking for a specific structure.
That's actually mod 20.
Okay. You see a few groups walking along the trail. You gather that it might be.
Could be guards, could be whatever. But nothing like a subtle encampment.
No.
Like any smoke in the distance or anything?
No, you would gather that any smoke in the distance would
Would-
be met with
Yes.
angry lizard
Yeah.
folk
Mhm.
to kill, murder, maim, and use as equipment.
I mean, I'm not going to be as aggressive as those two would be because I only have an hour, but she literally has like.
Forever. Well, I have
5 hours.
5
Maybe
hours.
it's
yeah.
been probably about 25 minutes now.
I know. I'm thinking about what other stuff I should probably look for.
Looking.
Well, I'm up there. Do I see like where?
So Go Stack also, remember, he would have mentioned look for a place where you guys can take harborage in whenever you're in there.
Yeah. So is there like? I mean, we can't just go into an inn.
That
No,
do-
you cannot.
Is there like a? Is there like a
It's
stable?
It's dilapidated.
You see many dilapidated buildings
Yeah.
that are empty
Like
and
on
abandoned.
the perimeter.
Is there one close enough to where that gate is that you told the thing that you told me
The
about?
gate is on the opposite side of town from where you guys were. You saw it from pretty far away.
I'd have to get closer to see if there's any
Yes.
dilapidated buildings. Okay, I'll take like a sweep that way.
Make a perception check. Are you sticking together during this?
Not now, because I did my big sweep.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I would say is after the site broke,
Mm-hmm.
I would have Squid would be going all around the city to report back to me.
Okay.
14.
14. Yeah, you see what?
Just finish with what you're. I'll keep my thought.
You see a what looks to be like a bakery that's dark. Doors are boarded up, windows are boarded up.
I want to see if there's like a stable or like a place where they're keeping these big mounts, because I would like to, obviously not in this form, but I would like to potentially release all of them and cause some diversions.
Okay. Is there a specific area that you're looking for it in, or are you just generally
I mean,
looking for it?
I
That'll determine whether or not it's a disadvantage or advantage or regular.
I feel like, I would try to smell if there was poop or something. I know it sounds
Do you get
stupid.
advantage for smell?
No, I don't think so.
Nope.
I don't think they
No.
do.
The
No.
whole place does not
Which is
smell
weird
great.
because ravens can smell carrion, so they should actually be sensitive to that. But whatever, 5e.
Right,
The smell.
Jeremy Crawford.
Jeremy Crawford.
There's
or
also a lot of possible dead bodies, so it might be
Yeah,
masking
it's
the
probably
smell of dead
overwhelming.
bodies.
I would just try to follow a pathway of any of the animals I do see to see if there's a.
Okay. So you
Circle
circle
towards
around, make a perception check.
It's a 12.
You eventually fly around and see a lizard folk riding on the back of a giant crocodile, who seems to be standing over a group of peasants slave working while he whoosh, cracks his whip.
But no indication of where they keep them. Okay. Well, I'm probably getting
Not
close.
with that single one.
Well, I would keep looking until that I'd have to go back because that's all I can think
What
of.
are you looking at next?
Can I like listen for animal noises?
Sure. So you land and make a perception check.
Okay. 18.
18. You hear
Like concentrated multiple animal noises. I'm not just listening for like.
you hear louder sounds by the docks.
I'll look over there, I guess.
So you go by the docks. You see lots of people forced into slave labor. Lots of lizard folks cracking at them.
Yeah, I'll
Make a
probably-
perception check. Don't give up before I
I'm
tell you
not,
what
I
you
just-
see, Nikki.
That's cocked. 17.
17. You see several people riding alligators, crocodiles, whatever you call them.
Crocodigators.
Yep. D&D.
Alligators.
As I would imagine D&D, it's a mixture of both of them. You do see what seem to be not a stable, because stable for
Yeah.
crocodiles, but like pens where they leave them, and they seem to be very subservient to the lizard folk as they're treated well and fed. So
They're still wild beasts.
they are. Looks like there's maybe stalls for like 30 or 40 of them, maybe about a third of them are full. As you fly around one of the ships that's being unloaded by some of the slaves, you see on the helm of the ship a tall, pale figure. You see a Goliath observing the checklist. You'd gather that this is probably one of the generals.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all that you see at the shipyard.
Yeah.
What else are you looking for?
I want to keep trying to find like a dilapidated building that like has easier access to get into that isn't all completely boarded up. Because Pandora's thought process is that we're gonna make noise trying to get into this dilapidated building. I'd rather get into one that's already got a partial opening. Without, I don't know.
So your worries are of making noise?
A little bit. Like,
You
Don't wanna alert-
being just a bird here, there's
No,
lots of
she's
noises.
worried about
When
making
we
noise
break
when we're coming
full
back.
size
Yeah.
trying to hide.
yeah, that's what I mean. I'm sorry.
Because
Let me finish before you
Okay,
critique
well,
me.
I know, I'm thinking the same thing.
Rob thought the same thing because he
I
started
did.
saying it too.
What I'm saying is that it is a loud fucking city
Okay.
with people doing slave labor, moving heavy things, using
Okay, but-
tools. So maybe the sound of wood being ripped off of a door probably wouldn't be that alarming.
Okay,
Be
okay,
extra critical
okay.
with her. She's
That's
just,
what. Okay. So
I wasn't extra critical.
No,
I
no,
was
no.
trying to explain this, and then you
That's
and
fair.
Mr.
I
Rob
did,
over
I
there
did too.
got all
Okay.
uppity with me.
Okay. And how far is that particular house to where that graded sewer entrance is?
Not far.
Okay. So, and how far? So that's on the back side of the city,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty far away from where the center of town is.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a huge city.
Oh, I know. I'm just visualizing. I'm trying to figure out things.
No, if you're worried about making noise getting into a building, it's not going to be unless
Well,
there's
now
like
I'm not worried about
unless
it. but
there's guards standing within like 20 feet of there.
Does it look like there is in that particular area, other than back where the one or two that are backed by?
How long are you staying there?
I don't know.
From what you've gathered, guards patrol everywhere, so it's all about timing. You guys could probably just walk the streets, go if you were to do
Okay.
correct timing and be lucky enough not to run into any guards.
I'll just hang out here until I don't know. Until I at least see some like a shift change, so I can kind of just get.
Okay.
Hopefully, it's not that long, but
Yeah, you stay there for about 10 minutes, and a few guards walk by.
my bird timer starting.
I'll probably start heading back, but flying low just to see if I catch anything of interest because I can't.
Okay.
You know.
Closer to the center of town, you do see some nicer houses.
I'm in particular probably keeping an eye out for like big clusters of what appear to be wolves, but I don't know if I would be able to.
You cannot, from what
discern.
you've seen,
Yeah.
there would be the wolves have been completely assimilated
Yeah.
into.
Okay. That's fine. That's still information. So.
Can I?
Are you getting close to the main building in the center of town with the gallows?
Well, yeah, because we perched there earlier, so I'd at least,
How close are you getting to the gallows?
I wouldn't get too close because they'd probably want to shoo me away because they think I'm trying to eat the bodies.
Make a perception check.
Oh God, maybe I'll go up there and nibble on some bodies just to blend in. That's a 20.
You do see a few buzzards. They fly by around
All
there.
right, I'll land on a dead shoulder and kind of peck at it.
Make
I'm-
a performance check
I'm
with advantage.
I'm not anywhere near you. I'm gonna stay and keep an eye on
Just
how long
trying
it
to
takes for the.
blend in with my bird buddies.
I'm gonna.
Hey, a 20. Natural 20. So that's a 20. Well, it's
That's,
bird.
That's an 18.
Yeah, because it's
Oh, yeah.
minus.
But still.
Yeah, you're blending in pretty well. There's not really any guards around the dead bodies. It's kind of like they put them on display and everybody keeps their distance.
Yeah, 'cause
Do
it's-
make a perception check for me though.
And then can I just sit where I'm at and watch and see how long it takes for the next shift? Kind of
Let
get
me
a
reroll
feel
it,
of
'cause that's
the,
only
the
12.
the shtick, the shifting.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna see when the
Hey,
next
there
set
we
of
go.
guards shows up.
18.
Try to keep an eye on the time frame when they switch.
Okay, probably another half an hour
18.
goes by and you see another set of guards. What?
So it seems like every
18.
30 minutes.
18. How long are you waiting there again?
I'm sorry. Is it
I'll do it one
it's
more-
perception?
Yes.
Oh, so it's a 23. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll do one more shift because I want to make sure it's
I'll
consistent.
probably leave after this because I'm running close. I know.
What now? What'd you
I'll
say?
stay for one more shift change just to
Okay.
see if it's consistent, and then I'll
It's not consistent, you know, it's not the exact same amount of time. About 10 minutes goes by and they come by.
Okay. Do her thing first. Let me think for a second.
Okay.
Please.
You look around, you see mangled bodies, look like they've been sitting there for quite a while. There is a large willow tree in the middle. And your eyes meet a dark green-skinned figure with a shaved head. Red fur adorned on his
Marty.
Legs.
Or is it his brother? Does it look like Marty?
You see a beaten, bloodied, dead, rotting corpse of Marty.
Oh, Marty. Poor Marty.
And you also see above him on the tree, written in what you imagine would be blood, says, "Blood of the womb means none to Xanthos."
Xanthos?
Sorry.
I've seen enough. I gotta go. Or I'm gonna peck somebody's eyes out.
Okay, I'll stay for one more shift change.
Yeah,
Just
shut
have-
up.
It goes about like 25 minutes.
Fucking goddamn these guys. Okay.
And I sadly
So
think
from what
about-
you gather,
It's like-
it can be 10 to 25
yeah,
minutes.
yeah, that's why I was writing it down.
And I will sadly think about the pants that I bought for Marty and hope that I can strangle his brother with them.
From what you get, lizard folk in other folks here who are guards probably don't stick
To a
to
clock.
close to a timetable. They have like an instinct, but it's not like an exact
Fucking
science. if
great.
that
So
makes
it's gonna
sense.
be a random. Oh boy. Okay.
So
Okay.
is Squid looking for anything else?
He would have been sent with orders to basically like go around the perimeter
Hmm?
and potentially find any secret entrances.
He finds a few smaller entrances. Looks like a snake could fit through them. But as he gets a little bit too far, your vision kind of fades in and out.
Well, and that's why he's
Mm-hmm.
he's autonomous at that point,
Mm-hmm.
and then he'll just report back to me when he comes back.
Okay. So he's maybe an hour or so. And he slithers back to you. And he reports of several entrances that probably could be used around the dock area. He reports of a sewer grate to the north. And the front entrance. And he reports of a few dilapidated entrances, look like they've been blocked with debris. That could be possible entryways.
I'm gonna start flying back.
Okay.
I think I found out all I can find out right now. And if I didn't, I'm sure one of these two covered it. Or I hope Pandora hopes. I'm heading back to where we
You guys
left.
do anything else, or y'all heading back?
I never would have had to go back after that.
So as you convene, what are you doing? You all turn back into normal
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Well,
Normal.
Nivar will look
Let's-
distressed and mad.
Let's go deeper into the tree line.
'Kay.
So you head back into the tree line.
Yeah.
I'm gonna punch a tree.
Roll an attack.
Very quietly. Haka!
That is a natural 20.
Gonna
Okay,
punch
so
the
as
tree
you
down.
do that,
God.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Oh God.
it doesn't make a loud noise.
Yeah. I mean,
But the
nothing
tree
that would go
shakes,
over
and then a
the.
few seconds later you see several hundred leaves fall down.
Magical.
Marty's dead.
What?
Marty's dead. His brother killed her. I saw his dead body. And then I'll obviously explain the note and everything.
Well, I was hoping we could talk his brother into joining us for a cause. But now we have to kill him.
Yes. And strangle him with the pants that I bought Marty. You son of a bitch, you let me buy those pants knowing he was dead?
He has been dead for a while.
That's a hot, rotting flesh. Or hot, rotting body.
What time would you say it was?
You guys spent maybe an hour in there. You know, it was midday, probably around like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, just past noon.
One question I have observation-wise, based on the, like, obviously getting a general gist of the area, based on the amount of, like, slave numbers to, like, guard and other numbers, are there more slaves and
Yes.
civilians?
There's always more slaves.
Well, I know, but I'm just, okay. Fight the power!
So there are a couple spots in the wall where there is not wall, it's just debris. And there is, off on the opposite side of where the main gate is, there's a grate with sewer. And there's a house not too far from it that we could hide in. It's all boarded up.
In that house that you guys were next to, you know, probably 300 feet away from the center of town, also
Yes.
was abandoned. You would imagine that would be a good place to stay into if you wanted something closer.
The Goliath is on his ship, and there are a lot of giant alligators and or crocodiles.
Crocodigators.
Crocodigators.
But I found out where they keep them. And I don't know how successful this would be, but I say we just let them loose. But the problem with that is they might just eat civilians, and then what's the point?
Squid did see some entrances that it looked like that they caved in.
Yeah, and that matches up with what Pandora explains, along with the sewer grate.
So what's the plan? How are we getting in?
Well,
Where are we getting
your
in? I guess not
your
really how.
unguarded sewer grate is probably
It's guarded. There's like
Well,
one or two,
you're-
but
lightly
Wait,
guarded.
how many were there?
there was what, 2 of them you said?
Two, but you see,
Yeah.
Was it a pretty open grade or
It was about 2-3 feet tall.
could we conceivably get all through it in a minute?
You'd have to find a way to get through the metal grate on it.
We'd have to find a way to get through the grate.
You bring your cutting torch.
I have Eldritch Blast. That's my cutting torch. If there's only 2 of them guarding the grate, and was that on the inside or the outside?
I'm assuming it was the inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, inside the gate.
On our side, were there any people guarding that side then?
No, what?
On like the outside
the
of where the
outside.
grate is, on the outside of the wall.
You guys didn't go to the outside of the wall.
That's true, we didn't.
On that side of the grate.
I send Squid that way.
Okay.
Sorry, Squid.
And 2 hours goes by.
That's fine.
You doing anything in the 2 hours?
I'm plotting at
something.
least
I
during that time.
don't. Yeah, I don't really
If-
have a good idea except for that. Unless we just go straight
He
balls.
comes back after 2 hours and says no, but reports that there are guards up along the top
Yeah.
of
That's right.
that patrol every so often.
I don't know. I mean,
And the shifts are
I'm
like
leaning back towards
pretty
that.
sporadic.
Let's say we're there to help their cause.
The shifts are pretty sporadic. They were anywhere from 10 minutes to
What?
30
Hair
minutes.
in your mouth.
I'm going like this.
They weren't very consistent
Stop it.
watches.
So right now, my fear of that one is, what if they make us kill them? Because obviously that's what happened to Marty.
What if we... This is going to be a sketchy,
But what else?
sketchy plan.
I don't know.
Okay.
We can't go in the sewer. We can't go just walk in there.
I mean,
We can't
I
turn
can-
into lizard folk.
What if we...
There's
We'd have
way
to figure
too
out a
many
way...
people for us.
Well, hold on. So we have to find a way to get through the grate. What if I shifted into...
Why don't we
I don't
just
know, an
light
animal,
the
and I
ship on
waited on the
fire?
other side, and I told you guys when they were shifting, when they were trading shifts, and then you guys can try to sneak
I
in
think
that
we just
quick time frame.
light the fucking ship on fire because we gotta start with one of them.
But what if I turn into an animal and I don't know which. Well, you have the we have the telepathic.
From what you understand, his snake has been in there 2 times now, and you guys were in there as ravens,
Yeah,
and you weren't detected.
that's true.
We were in.
Yeah, but
in
we were
where?
animals though. We weren't us.
Which part are we talking about? The
Over-
sewer again?
Just in general, we were in there. Nobody knew we were there.
Why don't we just make ourselves look raggedy, and sneak in and
Or
You want us to pretend to be slaves and sneak in? I don't think that's gonna work.
or
no, I mean we put on some rags just in case we get spotted and say, oh,
Go ahead.
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, one at a time. Pandora could send each of us in as a raven, break the concentration, and then fly in with her wild shape.
And that's fine. But what do we do then? We're still ourselves inside. I mean, where do we go? What are we doing?
From what it looked like when I was looking through Squid's eyes, people just walk around.
There's literally a house not far from the grate, and we can just get in there, and we can stay in there.
Getting in is probably the hardest part.
Yes.
If you...
But did it look like? Because we're like.
You're not kind to their slaves, so if they caught a group of 5 of them just walking back in, they probably would be punished.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, we don't look like slaves, so.
But there's also regular citizens in there.
But we don't look like
You-
regular citizens
Yeah,
either.
you did not see any regular citizens.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's either slaves
All the
or
regular
guards.
citizens. have
That's
been
what I'm saying.
turned
Like, we
into
can
slaves.
probably do that and sneak in there, but then what do we? We can't just. We're just some adventurers in the town.
She brings up a good
You
point.
remember the Snake Queen said that you'd be on a stealth operation. So
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have to. But what are we doing once we figure out?
We
where
have to
we're gonna
start
sneak?
taking out the generals. I don't know how we're gonna do that once we're in there and we're in their territory.
I think
with
we
no...
sneak into the fucking church and kill that bitch. That's what I think.
Well, we still have to get in.
There were
first.
guards there, but
getting in and out of the city is pretty difficult.
she's probably in there doing some weird magic hoodoo shit with some guards, and that'd be easier to take out first, and then we just, Because if we attack the ship, there's 50 fucking crocodiles there. That's not gonna be good for anyone. Or the innocent civilians. I'm just saying, like, you got... I understand
so
we have to get in there, but what the fuck do you want to do when we get in there? If you've got to start killing somebody, then we need to pick somebody and fucking kill them. Do we want to go in the big house and just kill the big kahuna?
One.
I think we have to
See,
kill the
we don't-
generals first. We can't just go after
I
the big guy
understand.
first.
No, but his number 2, Marty's douchebag brother who killed him.
Oscar, say something, please.
Nobody is making a
I'm
decision.
trying.
It's because
to be-
I'm thinking.
I know.
Yeah, everybody's.
but
You're tensing everybody up, Naivara. Calm
I'm
down.
tense.
So,
My friend Marty is dead, and I bought him pants, and it was very sentimental. And I'm tired of just, we gotta. I know we have to sneak and we have to do that, but like, I don't care. I already died. What do I got to lose?
A lot. You still have a lot to lose.
I've already lost it.
No, you
I
haven't.
already
You're
lost
here right now.
Oh, I've already lost it. Just debt keeps climbing.
This is the hardest debate I think we've ever had. Decision we've ever had to make. I'm perfectly fine polymorphing everybody to get through, and then just wild
Who
shaping
are we
myself.
gonna
Going in
kill?
and out of the town
Uh-huh.
each time you kill one of them. If you're planning on like killing one of them and then leaving and then coming
No, we
back,
don't want to do that.
That seems like
That-
that'd be overkill.
you would imagine that the security
Yes.
would be heightened each time.
Yeah.
So
can't
we're
just
gonna have to be
assassinate
in there
a
and then be
general
in
and
Yes.
there.
expect it
So
This is really
No,
tough.
once we kill one, we have to plan
it
to
would
kill the
probably
rest.
be easier to stay in the confines of the
Yes,
city.
because that's why I don't think we kill the one that's on the boat, because then we still have to get in after we kill the one on the boat. I think we kill the bitch in the church, because then that will show.
You don't know that the bitch is in the church.
Okay,
That's the thing. You could just walk into Catholic Mass and nobody's there.
That's true. We
It
don't
had to
know.
be
You don't
Hitler's.
know.
Well, what if we? Okay,
you
but
know
what if
what
we?
you got. You know what
So-
you
But
guys
if we
have seen
kill
by flying
her,
around.
what better way to prove that her God doesn't protect squawk?
Okay,
just
well,
saying.
here's what we. Okay, so we got to get in, and then we should move. If we're going in through the grate, we need to go to that first building.
Go stack.
And then
Go stack.
yes.
Okay, who's like the big guy in Helm? Who's like the big religious
What?
figure?
Father Oakenbrow?
Like of all the continent, it's Father Oakenbrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so if somebody came in and would just stabbed him and killed him easily, gone, would that perhaps shake some people's faith? Maybe not yours.
Well, that would never happen. The Iron Guards of
But-
Helm would strike them
Oh,
down.
Well,
my
that's
God.
but
Okay, but
what
okay.
if they didn't? What if they didn't? I'm just hypothetical.
Well, that's like saying, what if the sky was red?
So-
we can debate that
So
all
we
day,
go
but
to
it
this
would
I'm
first
never happen.
building,
saying-
though. But we get into this first building.
What if he got killed and Helm didn't do anything? He just didn't do anything. Nobody got struck down. There was nobody to pay the price for it. How would that make you feel?
Make me feel as if I wasn't as faithful to Helm as me and the other disciples could have been. We probably would atone for our sins, make sure it didn't happen to anybody else.
Well, there were closer
It wouldn't
buildings
make you
to
feel
the-
like Helm let you down? That
Do
Helm
you want
wasn't
to know
worth.
what it feels like to think that Helm has let you down?
I feel like
Do you remember?
I know. That's what I'm saying. We need to. Did that at the time shake your
Remember
faith?
who you are talking to? Ivan?
Yeah, I don't know. See, then maybe we don't kill the.
Well, there's a closer dilapidated building
you
to the
think
center of town.
that-
If we can just get.
If we
To
killed
it,
that
we
priestess,
could
it
see.
would shake enough of them out of their stupor. I realize that probably those loyal.
Might be a few of them, but you need to crack more than one egg to make an omelet.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I feel like that the
You
grounds
don't
that
even know that she's in there.
the grounds.
Odds are you're probably right, because where do voodoo people go?
But I feel like the ground that perhaps some evil worshiper stand on might not be as sturdy as the
It's
more,
true.
you know,
Who knows what these heathens do?
I don't know.
There was a closer dilapidated building to the center of town. If we get into that first house and then we found a way to the one closer
There's
to town.
a lot of dilapidated buildings.
No,
You can't
I'm
solve
not.
that.
I don't.
Those are the two that you guys were
Yeah.
close enough to.
Yeah.
that
And I
you would
don't
know.
have an issue with moving
we
from
can-
building to building. We just.
Well, then if we get close enough, we can see, you
We
know,
have a
where
way
everybody
we can
is.
all disguise ourselves.
I just have my paint.
I have a hat.
Nobody has disguise,
No.
I don't.
seeming, or anything.
Does
Leonardo?
Leo not have
No, none of us
not
have
have
seen
anything?
I don't think I do.
him.
I can
We
lightning
can-
bolt.
We can pass without a trace, I think, to manage our way between the two of us.
How well guarded were they? How often were guard patrols coming
The patrols were kind of sporadic, anywhere from 10 minutes
They
to
were
30
definitely
minutes.
inconsistent. I
by?
guess.
And you don't think we could get from alleyway to alleyway and hide
No, I
every
do.
10 minutes?
I do, but
We
We
could.
still
It's just
need
we
to
still need to have a plan
decide-
on who we're looking for,
What if
where we're going.
I'm a very good actor. What if I just got a dirty cloth and put it over me and went,
then they'd start whipping you.
and I would say, "I'm sorry, sir. I'll get back to work," and I'll run
I
and
think
go
they'll
back to
still
work.
hit you.
I mean, that would be fine, but we still don't.
What if I did the Leeward special and went invisible?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Well, yeah, you
That's a
can
good
go
point.
invisible. That's
You
great.
can go invisible too, right, Oscar?
Mhm.
Can we make other people invisible?
Actually, can't Leo
You-
work? Hasn't he done that before?
He doesn't have it
You
as a
can-
spell, does he? Do we have any potions?
He does
of
have it as a
invisibility?
Yeah, he
spell.
does.
Oh, well, then good.
Because
He
I think he
can
made
touch
something
That's
us.
else
how he's the
invisible.
champion of Orangeburg.
Well,
Oh,
but I
well,
don't know
that's-
if he was just. Yeah,
Because what?
I don't know.
How did you think he went invisible?
I don't know.
The cloak has never been used.
We don't have that.
We don't
You
have
don't
it
have it
anymore.
anymore. I'm just saying, the entire time you had it, you never used it.
Yep.
That's true, we did.
It stayed in my
So
bag.
is the plan then we just go in and the first general that we have the best jump on, we just gut him?
Why don't we go in and just observe?
Well, yeah, that's what I was trying to
That's-
say. We moved to the building that was
Observe
closest to
as
the center
people,
of town.
not birds and snakes. Maybe we'll learn more.
Maybe.
Oh, we might have to be birds and snakes to get into the place. But yes, absolutely.
Did they seem like they were just killing people willy-nilly?
They were whipping.
There was.
Well, there was a lot of people being
Well,
whipped.
whipping not killing.
I mean, there were a
Not
lot of
condoning
bodies.
it,
There-
But they also
I-
weren't
let me
wearing
tell you,
armor.
We've
Ghost
survived
Sack,
a lot worse
Part of
than
the
that.
reason I am a little bit hot at the moment is because of all the dead bodies in the stocks, on the gallows, Marty
And
in
I'm-
the tree.
Trust me, Marty. His death will not be taken lightly. But the last thing we want is for one of us to be right next to Marty.
I don't disagree, but we just, if we're gonna go in there, we need to just go and we need to.
You have your disguise hat. You could always do reconnaissance if we all don't want to go. But what I was thinking is I find a nice little hidey hole, I take off all my shinies, pop out my eyes so I look real gross.
What if they just consign you to slavery?
I'm pretty sure I could find a way out. I snuck into the Clementine Keep, did I ever tell you that?
Yeah, he did.
Almost made it in.
Okay, so
I'm just saying we have options.
I guess we just bounce from building to building and kill the first general we can. And then all hell's gonna break loose no matter what, I think.
yeah, once we
Do
kill
you
the
ever
first
think, what if we killed one of them? Do you think it would send a message to the other ones? Do you think that they would grow paranoid with fear and it might be easier to kill him?
Or maybe they
Or
not
no.
be loyal to their lord anymore.
Run away, that's very true.
I think it depends on which one we kill.
Or why don't we talk to the guy that got demoted and be like, hey dude,
That would mean we know what he looks like.
well, we'll
He's a
keep an
lizard
ear.
folk, you know that.
Yeah. I mean, we
You
just
saw a lot of those.
That was my thought process.
Hey, wait a minute.
I'm just saying, like, it seems to me that what I can discern of these lizard folk is they want food and supplies. they don't necessarily. I mean, do they do it for the joy of killing, or
You
what?
don't know.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what are they getting out of this that they couldn't, make an agreement like the snake people did?
Food supply and chaos. You said it.
I feel like there's lots of alternatives to find that. And what is more chaotic than fighting the power?
Well, it seems like the way their hierarchy works, though.
What if we kill their leader and then we say, all right, we're the leader now?
That's a whole different thing.
Then we go after Marty's brother.
Yes, and with the lizard people, because we say, no, we killed your leader. We're the superior creature, so you listen to us, and we'll kill you too.
You said with the stockades and the gallows, there were other people there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see? Were there any children or anything?
Did I see any children?
No, you did not see any children.
I didn't see any children, but it wouldn't have shocked me.
Oh, let's also remember one of the reasons we're here to
Mm-hmm.
see if Galot is innocent.
Yeah.
He said he had 2 boys and a wife here. Are there any women about his age there?
I was sitting on a body, so I would hope I would have at least been able to observe what were women and what weren't.
Yeah, you saw a few.
I mean, yes. I don't know what his wife looks like, though, so...
Yeah, me neither. Just remember, keep that in the back of your mind. We're here
No,
for other reasons,
that's
too.
why I don't want to cause too much of a commotion, because, these people don't seem like they care about collateral damage.
It seems like no matter what, we're going to end up causing a lot of noise once we kill that first general. They might up their security and they might punish the slaves for that.
What if we could kind of get one of them hostage-ish? And I'm not saying that the others would give a shit, because they'd probably just kill us all. But if we leave that person just alive enough, maybe they'll, draw their followers in our favor so they don't die.
Realistically, if you wanted to get a hostage like that, and I'll look to the direction that we were just in as our way here, we should get one of the roving patrols if we're going to do that.
Oh, they won't care about them. They're collateral.
We could get information.
Oh, yes, that's true. We could just kill one, or kill all but one, and then...
That actually
Yeah, let's
might
just...
be a better idea. That way we can get a better lay of everything that's there.
Do you think we could wear their armor?
There's
Because it's all different types of people.
I mean,
So our plan now
I
is, and correct me if I'm wrong,
well,
we're
but
going
there was
to
probably dwarves there too.
kidnap the guards.
I know, but still, you could put on some of their garb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's,
So,
there's
let's
enough
kill
with
him.
that,
We're
because
going to kidnap the
not all of them
guards.
are
So we're gonna
armor
kill them
and
and
stuff
take
like
their
that.
armor.
They have natural
Well-
Or how
armor.
are we going to draw them out to us?
We're gonna
They're
get
all up on the wall.
there's the roving patrols.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
There's
the
that
one we
patrol
almost
that
ran
went past
into.
us.
Okay.
And we know they patrol where we were just a little bit ago,
Okay.
so we can just ambush them and...
Maybe you can look like one of the lizard guys, so it really sells it.
Yeah, you could disguise yourself as one of those.
So let's.
And then we can just walk in. We might have to... I know this is going to sound extreme, but maybe we have to keep one of them alive for a little bit to get the ins and
I was
outs.
planning that anyway.
And torture them a little bit.
I think
I
that's
don't
what
like it because that reminds me of the Illithids, but at the same time...
I think me saying capture one of them encompassed that thought. So let's.
My Mars kid. Just not...
I've got 9 fingers left.
Let's head back to the
Yeah.
Overwatch and lay an ambush.
Okay,
Oh my god.
so you guys are going back kind of into the forest
Yeah.
to where you saw that first patrol.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll jump the next one comes along.
So, as you make your way downtown, walking fast,
We're not homebound.
you're not homebound.
I
But
wish
you
we
are
were.
setting up for
The
an
next
oncoming patrol.
patrol.
And that's where we're going to end
Ow!
Oh, sweet
Fun,
Jesus.
fun,
It took us like
fun.
half an hour just to decide what
Well-
but it is a big.
It's, I
It
know,
is.
I know,
It's-
it's crazy.
That's
though.
part of
big
D&D
and
though.
it. Yes,
I know.
there's a
Like,
lot to
ridiculous.
explain
Yeah.
too. It's frustrating, but we got it done.
Yeah.
Like it's one
There
of
were
those
a lot
things
of
where
moving
There,
pieces.
it's better to have those discussions
Yes.
because
Mhm.
the biggest
Yes.
mistakes in D&D are made when you're just like,
Lack of
let's just do
communication.
this.
Let's just run in there.
When you take the first option.
So,
Glad we circled that.
Turns out, Vara was kind of right all along. Disguises and infiltration. But we were all right. Just in different
We're all
ways.
winners.
we will be back, hopefully November 19th,
Yeah,
as
sorry
we
to
get
get
into, I believe this is the 5th arc of the Bullies of the Bed Dragon of Bluefield. Did the math, you guys are getting dangerously close to level 11 too.
Thank
That'll come up
God.
Sooner rather than later.
here I was hoping it would have been after the that last big fight that we had,
Multi-class, damn it.
but it's fine.
We about to have a big fight. So
The level 10 to 11
Yeah, we've discussed it.
span is way higher than any other level.
Yeah. That November 19th game is also when we will draw for our lovely prizes for everybody who has contributed to our Games Day Extra Life donation run. Remember that those are going until November 6th. November 6th, I'm going to put everybody who's donated,
that's you.
throw everything into it,
I thought I
and
wasn't allowed to be in it.
I don't see what it's
we'll
up to him.
call it what we call it. I'm going to
I
throw
was just
that up
donating to
one
donate.
more time.
And so we had extra rolls in case it got bad.
You don't know
Oh,
sexy
it'll get
honey
bad.
burger?
I kind of do want. Well, not the dice or the tower.
Again, we have a couple of dice towers from Fate's End Dice. We have a Legend of Vox Machina beanie. Funny enough, or ironically enough, they announced the show today, when it will air. We have
The
some
new
dice,
campaign starts next week too, I think.
dice from Forged Dice, and Sexy Anime Girl so far. There could be more. We'll figure it out when we figure it out.
We got time now.
Thank you again to our sponsor, Andreas. Fantastical Filaments, check them out. We will be back probably Monday with more programming. And in 1 month, not 1 month, probably more than a month it looks like, we will be back here for the next saga of the Bullies of the Bed Dragon of Bluefield as you infiltrate and go John Rambo on the Maroon Marsh. Thank you everybody for watching. We're sorry John was not here with his wig.
Peace.